And live from New
Hello.
York, it's Arcane Adventures. Hello, everybody. I am Sirjayofharps. You are here with us, obviously. Thank you for being here. It is a Sunday, which means it is a one-shot day. However, before we get into that, I am here to tell you that our YouTube channel has a couple more things on it now. Meaning, we got Cat's Mystery one-shot up there. We have all of episode 2 from our campaign up there. And after this stream, maybe a couple hours after, we will have part 1 of episode 3 on there. So make sure you're checking out our YouTube. Obviously, we have our TikTok, which is wonderful, and you all probably follow it. If you somehow found us without seeing our TikTok, that's impressive. Go follow that. We have an Instagram as well, as you all know, run by the great Ashley D&D, and I believe Tokengaymer here helps too. So yeah, we don't have a lot of announcements, so we're going to jump right into character introductions. Ayden, or not character, player introductions. Ayden, if you would.
Hello, I'm Ayden, also known as Marsbitters. You can find me on TikTok. I have other social media, but you're not getting that right now. And today I will be playing Rosemary, half-elf cleric. I personally use he, him pronouns, but the character I will be playing today will be using she, her.
Dylan, if you do not mind, I don't have the stream pulled up. Oh, wait, I do. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Dylan, go!
All right, hello. Dylan here, otherwise known as Tokengaymer over on TikTok. Also, IME_16 over at Instagram if you want to go check that out. And I also go by he, him. So, but my player will also be going by he, him. So, easy.
Michael, if you don't mind, good sir.
Hi, I'm Michael. My TikTok is ms_109556. I'm playing Siegfried Holocross, also he, him pronouns. Yeah.
DM, if you would introduce yourself as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Luana. I'm also known on TikTok and literally every other social media as TheWitchBard. I'll be DMing, and yeah.
And I, as I said, am Sirjayofharps. I will be playing Akmar, the half-orc barbarian, and our lovely stream host for the day is at Chrisfire.
Thank you,
Oh,
Chris.
The best, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
That is all I have. So we are going to pass it over to our lovely DM. Luana, take it away.
All right, fantastic. So, the Adventurer Guild has asked you all to help this town that's been having problems with the forest and the creatures who live in the forest nearby. It is a very dense rainforest, and you guys can only reach there through boat. And you guys are all in the boat city together. Would you like to introduce your characters?
Cool. Same order?
Yes, sure.
Introducing ourselves to each other, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, character descriptions.
Character
Right.
description, yeah.
I did not have time to come up with a character voice. Come back to me.
All right, then Dylan.
All right, so my character's name is Selros, or Selros, as I'll probably be saying it. He is a Loxodon wizard, and for those of you who do not know what a Loxodon is, I am basically an elephant person, and I am super excited because elephants are my favorite animal. But he has these deep brown eyes, obviously gray skin tone, like little tufts, like little strands of hair on the top of his head. Nothing much. He's about 8 foot tall, 390 pounds, and he's actually on the older side. He's actually about 380 years old. So he's an old wizard. He's been around quite some time. And he'd be there sitting on the boat. We're on a boat, yes? What you said?
Yes,
Okay.
we're in the boat.
Sitting there
his-
just reading
Yeah,
on the boat.
they're both very much tilted. Mike, would you like to introduce your character?
So going onto the side of the boat where Dylan's character is, stands a average size blue tiefling. He has a mask oddly like a skull. Not sure if it's an actual skull or not, covering his forehead down to his nose. He has one piercing blue, almost reptilian eye. He is wearing leather clothing, which is very professional, that cuts down the chest. That's black and has gold trimmings. Also black pants. He's wearing a cloak One hand is just a regular hand. The other hand is oddly a claw, a dragon claw with white scales. On his back, without him having any holder or anything, is floating a long staff that is kind of curled at the tips that has 2 gems inside of it. And he is fighting the urge to throw up off of this boat.
Ayden, are you ready or should I go?
I think I have something. All right. So kind of sitting to the other side of where Siegfried is a kind of what seems to be just a dark figure sitting there. It's difficult to tell gender or features because she is wearing a full like plague doctor's mask on her over her face, and then a long black robe, gloves, boots, and just sitting there kind of gently. You can barely see the tips of her ears poking out, and due to their dark gray color, but also like just how short they are compared to a regular elf, it's easy to tell that she's a half elf most likely, and likely a half elf of drow descent. And she's sort of sitting there looking off at the forest and the river around her, not really paying attention to whatever else is happening on the boat.
In probably the middle of the boat, because he's a very sociable man, hanging out with, trying to talk to everybody, make sure the person who's going to puke he's holding the hair back, just being nice and all, is a very handsome, you can tell by the singular tusk, half-orc. He's got like the one tooth coming out, and he's just got a big grin on his face, and his apparel is weird. He's got like work pants on, some boots, and then he's wearing just a white tank top with his very ripped arms, just guns out, guns blazing, and he has his hair slicked back. You can tell this because of how long it is, but he is also wearing a hard hat, just kind of backwards on his head, a fantasy hard hat, if you will. He's got like a tool belt on, an axe on his back, and his skin's like a weird kind of darkish purple. And you can also see one green streak in his hair, because why not? And he's just smiling, looking around, just making sure everyone's okay. You can also see, like, his great axe, it looks kind of weird, and then when you look at it, you realize, oh no, that's bagpipes just on his back under the great axe.
Wow, that's fantastic. Right, yeah, so, there's someone rowing the boat for you guys. He's struggling a lot because of the loxodon in it, so he's just like,
Yeah, there's a lot of big boys in this one.
Yeah.
Selros is not even phased. He's just so focused on reading.
The poor human. So it is like all around you, very thick rainforest. And you reach a dock kind of area, but you see like half of the town is in the docks. And as you come up, the whole town is lit. There's music playing. There is this amazing smell in the air of these very exotic foods. It just seems to be an overall celebration. And right out, like as you step up in the dock, there is a tavern that seems to be like the center of the celebration. There's lights, there's music, there's people lining up. And yeah, it just seems like there's a party going on. You see a lot of people dressed up in white and gold. But yeah, this town is mostly humans, but every so often you see an elf or a half elf. Yeah. What are you guys gonna do?
Oh well, we've arrived at the dock. Yes.
Yes.
And we were sent here again because one more time.
Because the locals were having trouble and some issues with the creatures in the forest nearby, like the forest that surrounds the town.
So Zelros kind of closes his book as he kind of hears the liveliness of the city.
Oh, well, I do say, I think we've arrived. Yes.
Rosemary, kind of, who's been like kind of looking away, sort of jumps back into reality. Like, yes, I think Yes, we have. It seems like a party going on. Does anybody know anything about that?
Siegfried, like, looking at he's taken out, like, a small journal that he's starting to, like, write down and draw the town. I've never been a fan of parties, however. If we must go in, let's go in.
Can I make some sort of like history check to see if I know what type of celebration is happening? If I
Sure.
if I've like seen it before.
We
You
don't
can
want to
go
walk
ahead.
in guns blazing on a funeral, now do we?
You can go
Oh, yeah,
ahead and
I'll-
make a history check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
Can I
go.
also
New
roll
dice.
for that as well?
Yes,
or-
yes, of course. Y'all can roll for that.
All right, let's see.
14.
By the way, this is like nighttime. 14?
Yes.
All right.
12.
12, okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Wow.
You know, being surprisingly, the wizard still has read a lot of books, but not about this specific celebration. But you sorcerer, you know this town. You heard about it, like the exoticness of this town, and they are celebrating what it is their New Year's.
Uh,
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
This is celebration for the coming of the new year, per se. Always fancy, always big.
yes. I think I remember reading about that at one point.
Obnoxious.
So you see in the same tavern that has a line of people going, like you see a bouncer kicking some people out that seem to be absolutely drunk out of their minds. They're this tavern, I forgot to mention, it's also a part of the dock. There's some outside area, so just
I'll look at the rest of the party and I'll just go. So we thinking about getting some food, maybe? I'm a little hungry myself.
No.
Do we know who we should speak to about the creatures around the forest?
Do we not just walk in and start just yeeting them? Do we need to talk first? It's not like we're exterminating them, just right?
We don't know much about these creatures or what they're doing here, what they've been doing. All we were told was that they were causing problems, right?
Yes, I think we should start at the tavern and see what we can come up with there. Maybe ask the locals what's going on.
He'll just kind of tip his hard hat back a little bit, scratch his head, go, yeah, makes sense.
right.
So I guess, yeah,
You
he'll
guys
make
go
his
to the
way to.
tavern?
Yeah.
All right. So the bouncer is this huge half orc. He just stands in front of you guys. He's there's a line.
So how tall is this man?
He's a good. Oh well, for you, forgot. For you, I would say he almost reached eye level to you.
So he's about 8 foot tall. Dang,
He-
that's
half
a big
orc?
half orc.
That's all.
He's very tall. You see, even in his foot, he seems to be wearing a bit of a heel, and then his.
He's got platform shoes.
Love that. I know what type of tavern this is.
Rosemary, I forgot to mention, she's not very tall. She's kind of average height, 5'5" ish. Kind of steps forward, shield on her back, mace in her hand initially, and then she puts it away and she's, hello, we are here from the Adventurers Guild. We would like to speak to any form of law enforcement or authority about the creatures around the forest,
Oh,
please.
okay, I see. And just steps inside. Just go inside and ask whoever.
Oh boy! A government that spends most of its time in a bar. This must be a
No,
great
there's
town.
no government here. The governors are celebrating the New Year somewhere else. But there's that weird guy surrounded by people. You can ask him. I think he's very popular, I suppose.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Kind of shrugs and
Weird
goes
guy
in.
it is.
All right, so you go inside, and once again, everyone's wearing white and gold. They are celebrating with this bubbly, very colorful drinks. There's just smell of amazing food in the air. but if people are more congregated on the outside area, do you guys go there?
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
Or Zigbee stays behind.
Split the party.
Split the party already.
No, he's just hanging back. He doesn't do well in crowds.
All right. So you're just staying by like the bar, yeah?
Wherever's the less people, the better. If he has a corner, he'll
So-
stay in the corner.
Yeah, the darkly lit corner where like no one's there because it's darkly lit.
Yes.
I'll kind of watch him start to walk over to the dark lit corner. I'll go, you good there, bud?
I don't like crowds. City is not my forte, so I go there.
All right. Well, we'll wait for you. And you can tell that he's just drinking in the fact that he's surrounded by people. He's straight vibing right now.
All right. So you guys go outside, and immediately someone catches your eye. This very, very handsome man. Like, imagine the most handsome man in the world. Like, it's a mixture of Geralt
So
of
Dylan.
Rivia.
So Dylan, yeah.
Oh,
Literally
Dylan.
mixture of like every handsome man you've ever seen in one person.
So Dylan.
Yes. He is wearing
guys.
light clothes, but he seems to be. As you get close to him, you notice that he's wet. He has a fedora, a white fedora matching, and a pink handkerchief. That's what's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just like vibing. He's surrounded by like girls and guys, just like absolutely melting over him. Not literally, but he's.
Honey. I called it. I knew what kind of bar we're in.
So, what race is this man?
He, as much as he's very handsome, he does seem to be human, except as you keep getting close, you do notice he has pink eyes.
Okay, interesting.
I'll look at him and I'll just go, my type. And then I'm just going to push through the crowd.
I think that's the man where the bodyguard told us about. And Rosemary is gonna approach him, kind of just like very straightforwardly walking up to him and just taps him on the shoulder.
And if anybody gets in her way, I'll just kind of politely be like, oh, pardon me, excuse me, and just kind of moving them.
Yeah, no, she's just barreling through the crowd, doesn't even really like notice whoever's
Right.
around her. Just
So, as he gets close, he just, can I help you?
hi, we're from the Adventurers Guild, and we're here to help with the creatures that are surrounding the forest. And we were told that you might be able to help us.
Oh, I don't do adventures. But, well,
Insight check.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, insight this man.
Let me remember what my insight is. I know it's not great.
Gonna vibe
is-
check the guy.
Vibe check. This is an Arcane Adventures stream. Where is my insight? +1. Okay, cool. This is first roll. And that's a 4 in all.
I mean, you're just kind of like, you're just in awe by how handsome he is. You're not really like paying attention much of like the words coming out of his mouth.
I'm just gonna. He's gonna kind of like stand up to his full height, kind of tip his hat back, roll his shoulders back, flex just a little bit.
All right. Yeah. So he says, "Well, I have been hearing some stuff about people being startled by things in the forest.
What can you tell us? What do you know?
I honestly don't know much. I just care about my brothel. But
Wow, right out
Very
of the gate.
blunt.
All right,
All right.
straightforward. Okay.
That kind of man.
but if you do wish, I could show you guys around town. I do know this place very well.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I mean, yep, that'd be.
Yes.
So he just like looks around, and is like, "All right, ladies and gents, I will take a bit of an air and a walk." And everyone goes like, "Oh no, please!" And they're like, and he's like, "Well, I'll be back. Do not worry." And he leads you guys through the crowd, and he starts heading towards the outside of the tavern.
I'll like
Siegfried's gonna
wave
stay
to
like-
Mike's character to get over here.
seeing this go on, like Siegfried's going to walk, except stay like maybe like 10 feet behind so no one associates them with him. And
Like, I am not
continue
looking.
writing in
I
his
do not
book.
see.
Sorry, Mike, what did you say?
And just continue writing in his
Alright,
book.
that's fine, that's fine.
I do not see.
So he keeps walking. It's like, yeah, over there's the bakery. There's the butcher. It's a really good place, but this is on myself. I don't personally live here. I live a couple. Anyways, think my brothel is a bit up the hill over there. Yeah, there's also the church over there with the cleric.
church is across the street from the brothel.
Down the street.
I like how our
Go to
tour
the
guide
brothel, do your thing.
our tour guide is just a pimp.
He's not even hiding it. He's just my brothel.
Literally.
It's over there if you wanna pop over. It's this amount. I can give you a menu.
As we walk, I'm just freaking.
He's dripping, by the way. Like as you guys keep walking, like his clothes are dripping, and he's still wet.
Excuse
Okay,
me,
go
but,
ahead. Go ahead.
Why
I was-
are you? What? You are
Yes.
so you're soaked. You're drenched. Why is that?
I was
Amanda's
asking
Yeah,
the same thing.
Hey, Amanda's what he can to keep himself refreshed around here.
I mean, I normally just drink water. Hydrate so you don't dehydrate.
It's the New Year's. Water doesn't happen here. There's drinks.
Zig is
Okay.
going to walk closer, and then just like getting up to him, not saying anything, and just take out a small towel or like a handkerchief. And
He
then-
just like gets startled as you approach him. Like, oh god, where'd you came from? Okay. Thanks, I suppose. And he just like taps, and drops back into your hand.
So, hold up, real quick.
Yes.
If I were to cast prestidigitation on him, would he dry?
Can try.
Could I dry him?
Yeah, you can try.
just blow dry him.
So he's just like Cyrus is just kind of gonna look at oh my goodness. He's gonna look at Rosemary and be like,
I think he might want this.
and I cast prestidigitation. Try and dry
Okay,
him.
and he looks around, it's like, my one what? And then like suddenly like he holds this fedora really hard, very startled, and he just, as the gush of wind passes by, he's just like,
I hope you don't mind.
It
just seemed uncomfortable being, but
okay. And as he's dried, you can see his skin has a very, actually, I'm looking at all perception, like passive perceptions. Never mind. No, actually, yeah.
11, baby.
Well,
Same.
Rosemary,
Hello.
you do notice very slightly there's a pinkish hue to his skin.
Ah.
We're having
Um.
fish man.
Anyways.
Oh no, did I just dry up a fish man? Uh-oh.
Anyways, he seems like startled by it. He like holds his fedora, like adjusts, and very like slightly like adjusts his hair under the fedora without lifting up. Well, listen. Is there anything else I can do with you guys? You guys know the town is not a very big town, and we're just celebrating.
We were just wondering who to talk to about, the reason we're here. We were told, the bartender told us to talk to you. My good man. And you could tell that, I forgot my own character's name again. You could tell that Akmar's just sweating just a little bit. Just kind of,
Okay.
he just kind of wipes it back.
As you ask that, he like looks across the street and he sees like a group of ladies, and he just like distracts himself. He's like, "Listen, I don't know, just go to the forest or something. But here's one piece of advice: people here can be quite ignorant with what they say, so don't believe everything you hear, and most certainly don't believe everything you see." And he winks at you guys, and he starts heading towards the girls.
He winks and I kind of step back.
thank
And,
you.
Rosemary's gonna watch as he leaves, waves, and says, "Thank you for the help. Also, why are you pink?"
He stops, and he just looks at you. He smiles, and he keeps walking.
I'll lean down out to
Answer
her and
the
I'll just
question.
go, I don't think it's very polite. You can't just ask somebody why they're pink.
So
And then,
Question.
as you say that, can Siegfried yell out, "Are you a fish?"
the man stops again and he just sighs a bit and he looks back to you guys and like the second he adjusts his collar, he becomes wet again and he keeps walking.
He's a-
So
Okay.
let's see, passive perceptions. Y'all. Okay. Rosemary and Mike, the way you pronounce your character's name is Siegfried?
Siegfried.
Siegfried. Okay. You two notice this man walking towards you guys. By this time, the streets are getting empty. Like, you see that man with the ladies walking back towards the tavern, and this man walks towards you guys. He's very anxious. You see he's muttering to himself. He's, like, holding his arm, and he's, like, seems to almost be, what's it called? When you're limping. That's the word. He is, like, looking around, and he's approaching you guys, like, very anxiously.
Oh,
Are you okay?
Are you alright?
And he doesn't answer. He just keeps walking. And at this point, he's like,
I'm
Fair.
gonna sidestep in front of him and I will be like, my good man, my friends asked you a question. Are you feeling well?
as you do so, he like bumps into you, and you hear a crack, and he just, no, you idiots! You don't know what you did. And he just starts panicking, and you guys see there's a liquid running down his left arm.
Can I tell what
Does
it
it
is?
look like blood?
You
Does
guys
it
can-
look like egg yolk? That's what I'm worried about.
It is egg yolk, actually.
Oh no.
And he just starts panicking, just like, you have no idea what you did. You ruined. You bet. And as he's about to say that, he bursts into flame in front of you guys.
Oh
Just,
my gosh.
and as the flame
wait.
subsides,
Okay, I was gonna say,
he is in ashes.
wait, what just happened?
So,
Just-
quick recap. A man was walking towards you guys very
Yeah,
anxiously.
he burst into flames and then simmered down and then
He was
turned to
just-
ash.
Yep.
Can I cast Spare the Die?
So
I don't think it's gonna work.
Um,
Wait, I have
Not.
Revivify.
so
there's nobody there to revivify.
Aquamar's just gonna kind of stop and go. That wasn't me. I just I can't. I don't do the. I don't. And he just kind of pulls out this tiny little like a normal hammer, like you would see in a toolbox. He pulls out his belt and goes, I don't think this will work.
I can fix
So,
this. I can fix this. You ready? You ready? And he'll just walk forward and just like start whistling and then just kick the ashes and start spreading them a bit.
Uh,
The ashes,
So Rose-
there's a glass
Sir,
bottle
no.
in
Kind of
between
put-
the ashes.
What was that?
As he's kicking the ashes, there's a
Glass
glass
bottle.
bottle. Go ahead, Dylan.
I was gonna say, Selros is just gonna kind of put his hand just kind of on the shoulder and be like,
Oh, Siegfried, I don't think that'll help.
and then noticing the bottle.
But what is that?
And yeah, your footsteps, like pacing, like almost running. She's like, "Don't!"
Oh,
You turn around, and
I'm holding my little hammer, just ready.
there's a cleric approaching you guys. What happened here?
Wasn't me.
this man.
Go ahead.
Go.
I'm thinking of you know what We're Dylan. Evens or odds?
Best way, yes.
Evens bet.
Ayden, talk. It was a 30.
Everyone approached us and burst into flames. Really quickly, I have this one ability I do want to use and to check. It's called Eyes of the Grave, so I would like to use a charge of that, and I can magically detect undead. And until So for a few seconds, I know the location of any undead within 60 feet of me that isn't behind total cover or isn't protected by divination magic.
Is it just undead?
What? Yeah, it's just undead.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Do you already? Okay.
Asks,
Yeah.
the
So-
DM asks, is it just undead? What else is around us?
I don't.
So-
I'm not a paladin today, so I don't have a divine sense.
That's okay. There isn't any undead.
Okay. Since the man burst into flames, I figured I'd check if his soul was wandering around or something. I don't know.
So the cleric like gets a little rag. You can see there's a holy symbol in the rag. He picks up the bottle and he's just like he examines it for a bit. Did any of you touch the man or the bottle?
And I'll just kind of raise my hand and go, he bumped into me, and that one kicked his ashes.
Kind of points at both of them.
This is very bad. Okay. He wraps the bottle and he smashes in the floor. I hate to be the one to tell you, but your group is now cursed.
Oh, okay.
This sounds about right.
Your
Where'd you
adventures,
go?
yes. There's
Yeah.
there's absolutely no way normal people would react like this to being cursed.
I'm just freaking. He's just shaking, like he's holding his hammer. Akmar's just like, cursed. Are you? What?
This isn't
lives
the first time of
did-
me
did-
being
did-
cursed.
What lives did you all
Alright.
live that made you okay with being cursed?
Siegfried is going to reach into his side and pull out this giant freaking tome of a book. He's gonna be like, I already have one curse. I can write down the next curse. Can you describe this in a 3-step format, please?
Well,
Three
It is
steps format.
called the curse of the demon in a bottle.
Hmm.
Your party interrupted a ritual. Therefore, the demon who was being trapped in the bottle, it is now free, and you all have cursed. The demon is not necessarily gonna come at you all, but you are all part of the curse now, and as you could see, and he points to the pile of ashes, that man got the short end of the stick.
Couple questions.
Are we going to? Is that going to happen to us?
I'm not a specialist in curses. I bless people, so I can't exactly tell.
Couple questions. Now, you said if anyone touched that man, that they are now cursed. Would touching a person who is now cursed also mean that you are cursed?
It's cursed by affiliation.
Okay. What do you know about this? What more do you know about this curse?
And he steps closer to you all. You all came here for the creatures in the forest, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not so sure what people in this town have told you so far about them.
Literally nothing.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, that is good actually. So what I'm about to say might be helpful. The creatures in the forest might be your only chance of getting rid of this curse. So I'm not so sure why you came here to do with the creatures, but they can help you. They are dangerous, but they can also be talked to.
Right. So
Oh, okay.
if one were to let's say theoretically cast protection from evil and good, that would not help in this particular case.
Not necessarily. The curse is already embedded into you all.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Gotcha.
So real quick, I'm just gonna tell y'all the stuff that's about the curse. Everyone has disadvantage on charisma saving throws. Period.
I have +0 to that anyway,
Fantastic.
buddy.
And something else is gonna happen, but I'll tell you guys about that later.
Wonderful.
Let me just take a note.
Akmar's just standing there, like he's stunned. He's kind of shaking a little bit. He's just holding this little like hammer just in front of him, just.
Siegfried just
And like he's talking, but words aren't coming out, and he's just like in shock.
Siegfried's just gonna put his dragon clawed hand and just rub his shoulder and be like, "Oh, you get used to it. It's alright. It's okay."
Do I know? You said that the man like had a holy symbol. Can I roll like a religion or a history check to see if I would recognize it at all?
Of course.
Let's see which one is better.
Symbols. Let's go Google.
It is same bonus to both, so +5. Let's see.
Okay, so
I got an 8.
Give me a
Total.
solid second.
I rolled a 3 plus
On this
5.
episode of the DM, didn't think
That's
this
an
was
8.
going to be important.
Well, I rolled pretty low, so it's fine.
Okay, so you see a you see a crescent moon. That's it. It is embroidered with silver thread, but you look at it and you can't quite recognize.
I have my D&D Forgotten Realms knowledge in the back of my head, but I don't know how relevant that's going to be, nor do I think Rosemary would really know, so I'm just gonna...
All right. So, the cleric tells you, if you go deeper into the forest, there is trails where hunters used to go. That's usually the easiest way to find those creatures.
Thank you very much for that.
Of course.
Who are you and where can we find you?
My name is Leonardo Perez, and I live by the church.
Would that be in the brothel or by the church or next to the church?
I believe there's only one church.
The man who created the brothel did this on purpose just to annoy me. It's the one in front of the brothel. Yes.
Oh, so not in the okay, cool.
But it turned out to be a very good business because they come out of the brothel to confess. So, but the hunter's trail, if you go back to the docks, is right there. It's torch lit until a bit deeper into the woods.
Quick question about the church. Is it like just a general church for general worship, or is it for a specific god?
It looks like a general church. It's very badly kept, but it is a general church.
I'll just kind of look up at the church and I'll look down at her and I'll kind of hold up my little hammer and go, if you ever need the place fixed up, and I'll just kind of tap my hard hat with the hammer.
The cleric is like, noted. So, do you guys go back to the docks to look for the trail?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
would like to.
You go back the same way across the tavern. You see more people lining up. And you also see the trail, like right next to where you guys came up from the boat. It is torch lit just to show the beginning, but besides that, it's pure darkness. Everyone here has dark vision, yeah?
I do.
I believe so, yeah.
LOL.
Well,
No?
for your luck, it is a full moon, and the night is fairly light, so...
Okay, well, I have light as a cantrip, so...
Okay, you could also use that if you want to.
Yeah, I also have dancing lights.
Ooh.
As we're walking, we're going into the woods, correct?
Yes.
As we're walking into the woods, I'll kind of reach back and pull out, like, it looks like I'm going for my great axe, but then I just pull out bagpipes from behind me, and I'll just kind of hold them and go, do you all think the spirits like music? And then I would like to play my bagpipes.
Upon seeing him pull out bagpipes, Rosemary is actually going to pull out a flute. It looks like it's carved out of bone. She says, maybe. She pulls down the plague doctor's mask. And this is the first time you guys have actually seen her face. She has light charcoal skin, and like bits of her hair are poking out. It's not quite white. It looks like a very pale blue color, but it's very close to white, and she has gold eyes as she also starts playing.
Akbar will look very confused by the fact that when he pulled out his bagpipes, somebody didn't tell him to immediately put them away, and he'll blush just a little bit, and then he'll start playing.
As you guys get ready, Dylan, the trees are very tall, and you hear, and a branch falls on top of you, right on your head, and it hits so hard you are temporarily blind for 1 minute.
So I'll hear this crack, and my bagpipes will just go, and like the sound will kind of end, and I'll turn around and I'll go, y'all right there?
I can't seem to see.
Take my hand, and I'll reach out, and I'm just gonna grab his trunk and like start leading him.
Nice.
I'm just gonna like put out my trunk for you to hold.
Yeah, I'll just grab him by the trunk and just gonna gently kind of lead him. Be like, oh, there's a tree root there. Also, duck a little bit.
Okay.
Zigfried's feeling really uncomfortable by the music that was just about to play.
It was playing, buddy.
He's going to look
Rosemary is still going. She hasn't stopped.
Right, Mike. What is this?
small chills. He's gonna look up and try to see if there was anything messing with the tree, so the branch fell.
Okay. You can go ahead and make a perception check.
And Rosemary, the song that she's playing, I don't know if any of you all would be familiar with it, but it sounds like, but I'm gonna say it. It's a drow funeral song.
Oh.
She's playing it in a very joyous tune, though.
Akmar's gonna take his bagpipes. He's still got them under one arm, and he's gonna try to one-handed play his bagpipes while leading the elephant. So with
the trunk around your neck.
I just hold the trunk up to the mouthpiece, and I go, blow when I tell you to.
18 for the perception check.
18. You look up, and there's literally nothing. The branch just snapped.
Okay.
Dang, dude.
So, as you begin to play this song, right, as you guys are walking deeper into the forest, I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Lady boys.
Nice.
Also a dirty 20.
I rolled a 19.
Shit. All right.
Wait, sorry. What kind of check do you say? Wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom, yes. You don't have disadvantage on this one. Just
We
charisma.
only have to.
So
wait, we have disadvantage on charisma. So if we had rolled, our music probably sucked, dude.
Well, saving throw, not check. So you would still be able to.
Oh, okay.
13.
All right.
19.
19. Okay, everyone passed. So, you guys are walking, and you guys are playing, but something interrupts your song. You hear this beautiful singing voice that just echoes all around you. It's not in your head, it's still around you. And it almost seems to attract you to it, but you keep focused on the trail.
I'm going to follow it anyway.
Okay, you roll a perception check to see if you can know where it's coming from.
I'm guessing the elephant can see now. We've walked for about a minute.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'll pass him back his trunk, and then I'll try to play. I'll try to match the singing with my bagpipes.
Okay. Yes, Ayden?
That one.
The voice, the sound echoes, and it hits the trees and the leaves, and you can't really know. It almost seems to be with the wind.
I'd like to take a gander.
All right.
Check it out.
Is this
Maybe the big
perception?
elephant ears?
Yes, it would be perception. I'm gonna say Dylan's gonna be the last one to do that check.
Got it.
Okay.
Rosemary, what's your elf ears here? Nothing.
Goes back to
Crickets.
bagpipe.
Selros, what do your elephant ears hear? Instead.
12?
Nope.
Nothing.
Better than
you-
one.
You can picture it closer. You can hear the voice moving around you, but you still don't know where it's exactly coming from.
I can't exactly pinpoint it, my dear.
Siegfried's gonna hold up his finger and like a little bit of fire is gonna come out of it. So,
All right.
you want me to find out?
No.
Wait.
No.
Wait a minute.
Let's save that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna set my hand over his finger, just kind of gently but sternly go. I wouldn't do that. If I were you.
Please don't touch me.
All right, so I would cast prestidigitation and just put out your flame.
Okay,
Snuff note.
so you guys keep walking.
Mhm.
Let me check your passive. Okay.
Not great.
So everyone make a dex save.
Oh boy!
Great. I'm so good at those.
What
I
is my
know.
dex?
I have a +1.
Oh, I have a +2. That's actually not bad.
I have +2 as well. Elephant boy, let's go.
I like how the thick elephant is dexterous.
A little bit.
6.
That's 4.
7.
I'm not dexterous right now.
It's a natural 1.
We all
We
failed
all
that.
suck.
So no one got above a, what is it? No one got above an 18, yeah?
No!
Fantastic.
18!
Okay.
Bruh!
So,
You need to be a rogue with expertise to get that.
as you guys, or just a very perceptive person, which none of you guys are.
Hey,
So, as you guys are walking, suddenly you hear a snap, and below you guys, a gnat comes and covers you all from below the leaves.
Yeah, how is this a strong gun if it's holding the weight
Yeah,
of an elephant and
Yeah,
a
it's
half
like
Yeah.
it's stretching, but you can see like it's the rope seems to be vines and vines wrapped around, and like a bit, even like a little bit of a spider web.
I'm
I'll,
very
I'll
uncomfortable by the energy created in the studio.
I'll just kind of, as we get caught, I'll kind of like, I'm still like, I just kind of like my bagpipes all jammed up against me, and I'll just kind of move them out of the way, and I'll try to reach for my hammer, and just try to like start using like the end you would use to pull nails out. I'll just start kind of trying to cut through the vine with it.
Okay, so as you try to do that, you see a little boy coming out of the bushes.
Oh gosh.
Last
Last of the boys she introduced got murdered, so
this little boy seems to have hair like fire. Think like Syndrome from The Incredibles, but like way messier, and like there's sticks and leaves coming out. You even see like a little worm coming in and coming out. He has pointy ears and almost a green tone to his skin.
Little one, please, would you come help us?
I got you. Suck it, hunters.
We're not hunters.
What?
I see the fire start to come out of his finger, and my hand is back over it.
Sorry, we're not hunters. We're actually here to do something else.
And he looks at the bushes. He's just like, Pitoko, come here. And from the bushes, like a hog the size of the kid comes out. Like with like huge tusks, and like eyes seem to be like on fire. So he just,
Rosemary's
like,
eyes just go wide upon seeing this, like, oh, he's beautiful.
He just looks at the hog and looks back at them. It's like, you said they were hunters, and the hog just goes. Like the boy seems very annoyed. He's like, well, should we still kill them? And
on that note, I'm gonna reach for my axe and try to cut through.
Okay,
Rosemary just kind of shrugs at the suggestion, like, eh.
Make a strength check, Jay.
Saving throw or check?
Check.
Okay, I wasn't sure. +3. Okay, slightly better. Although when you roll a natural 1, I don't think it matters.
These rolls are absolutely.
The volume in
loving
this
this.
net is astronomical.
So
Okay,
you
I-
try to like cut it and like
Wait, hold on.
things
What,
like bounce
No,
back.
no, go ahead. She can
Yeah.
finish.
You try to like cut it with your axe and like almost seems like the minute you touch it seems to like bounce back.
just,
All right,
like, trying
Dylan,
not
go
to cut
ahead.
anybody's head off with my great axe.
I like to cast Charm Person on this little humanoid boy.
All right, sucks that he's immune to charm.
So Siegfried is going to like
Crap.
sigh at all of this, take out a small dagger, and then reach his hand up as his dragon claw starts to glow, and a mage hand is going to come out of it, and he's going to give it the mage hand the dagger, and is going to try to go up to the top of the net and try to cut a little bit out.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check for the mage hand. Sorry.
While that's
Ooh.
happening, Rosemary's
Wasted-
still gonna like look to the
Wasted
kid,
freaking spells a lot.
just kind of wave to him and say, sorry, not to interrupt this conversation, but why do you want to kill us?
Because you're hunters, you're just lying to me. And he grabs like a little spear. He just like
Kinda-
points at you guys.
Kind
I'm
of
gonna
shakes
just
her head and says, "No, we're not hunters. We're adventurers, actually."
I'm gonna point to the hard hat and go,
And as you said, you guys are adventurers. Like he stops himself. He looks at the hog. Wow, dang it! And he puts his spear back. Yeah,
So
now
then-
you mention it, you don't look much like hunters. What is it? The check.
So it was a natural 20, but I have a -2 to strength, so
Okay.
18.
But as you know, he's saying this stuff. The rope cuts, and you guys fall down, and you all get 1 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And you're just,
Ow.
and he just like takes a step back. He's just like,
Kind of stands up, brushes, like dusts herself off a little bit, and puts the plague doctor's mask back on. Writes it. Oh, that's better.
now they. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're adventurers. We were hired to investigate the creatures that were in the woods that were disturbing the villagers, but then we got cursed a little bit. So now we're actually trying to find the creatures so that we can get a little bit uncursed a little bit. We're not here to kill anybody. We're not really here to hurt anybody. We're just kind of here to do our job, and however we do that works, I guess.
So, when you said we're not here to kill anybody, were your adventurers trying to like? He looks at you, and he's like, the little green he had, it goes away. And as you manage to get a closer look at this man, at this boy, he has pointy ears and pointy teeth, and his feet are backwards. What I mean by that is that our feet point this way, his feet point this way.
Ah.
And he just looks at you. He's like, no, we heard the locals talking. They wanted adventurers to kill us.
Well, that's what we were. I think that might have been what they wanted to hire us for. But I mean, I don't really feel like killing anybody. I mean, if you guys are nice, like I don't really want to kill anybody. And she's gonna. Sorry, I was just gonna. She kind of like sits on her knees in front of the hog, and pulls out a bit of her rations to hold out to the hog.
The hog goes, and he starts like eating up.
Aw, you're beautiful.
I'm gonna kind of like put my great axe back and kind of sheath my hammer and go, yep, not here to exterminate nothing.
I don't mean to be that guy, so I'm sorry if I am. However, what rations are you giving this boar? Because if it's dried meat, that'd be real morbid.
Well, no, if it's dried pig, right? But if it's dried anything else, it's fine, because hogs will eat anything.
Yeah,
I was
the
gonna say,
hogs
fun
are
fact.
omnivores.
Fun
Alright.
fact, they're omnivores.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah.
So let's just say it was
My
like
chickens
some
have
bread.
eaten chicken before.
Jay.
I wasn't the one feeding it to them. It fell on the ground and they went yoink before I could stop them.
All right. Anyways, going back to the session.
Yes.
So he just looks at you guys. I don't want to help you if you're gonna kill us.
We won't kill you then.
We're not looking to hurt anybody. We're just looking to help.
Don't
We were
fall-
told-
Why are your feet like that?
Oh, it's to trick their hunters is a really cool thing because when they see my footprints, they think I'm going that way, but I'm actually going that way.
Oh, that's really cool.
It
I'm
really
just-
is.
He's just gonna kind of like look at his
Interesting.
foot and start to twist it a little bit. Like, nope, mine don't do that.
But we were told that creatures were disturbing the village. We weren't told to kill anybody. We were just told to help the village. So however we end up doing that, it doesn't have to be end in anybody getting hurt.
The locals, they have hunters and they come here and hurt the little animals. I just set up traps to.
I mean,
Stop.
people
No.
have to eat, don't they?
They can be vegan.
And at the thought of being vegan, he's just gonna get just a little bit.
So
Now curious, little one. Are you alone? Oh dear.
well, I have Pitoko, and he like pats like the little hog.
Pitoko.
Oh.
Aw. That's
I
name.
more or less meant humanoid people.
Well, we all kind of live in like a community here. Just 1 second. I gotta roll some stuff here.
Could you
Terrifying.
take us to it, and then
Yes.
we could peacefully discuss
so-
not bothering the village.
Just give me a second. Okay,
Dice rolling.
so this is what happened. Ayden,
Hi.
your character as she's stalking, she swallows a bug.
Through the plague mask.
Right, like somehow you
It like
swallow a
flew
bug.
in the nose hole
Yes.
down.
Literally,
Wait, plague masks don't have
somehow.
nose holes. That's not how that works. It's through the eye hole.
And Jay, I'm so sorry. Every time you rage, you're gonna have to roll to see if it goes wild, if it turns into wild magic.
That's so cool.
Love that.
So do I feel that? Do I feel that? Like, do I?
Basically, like a little purple flame quickly like goes up your leg, like all the way like throughout your body, as like Rosemary's like coughing inside her mask.
He's gonna like start shaking it again and go. We should get this curse done quick. I don't like it.
And the minute he,
Oh, right, the curse. I
And
kind
the
of forgot
minute-
about that.
yeah, the minute you guys mention like cursing, like he takes a step back. It's like curse.
Oh,
Yes,
there was a guy. He was doing a ritual with a demon, and then he burst into flames and dropped a bottle. A couple of us touched him. It's a curse by association, apparently, and we got cursed.
But I don't think you're associated, so you should be good. Can we just go to your village?
The hog like stops eating the rations and just like stay like smash. And he's like, no, we don't get curses. Like, oh no, this is really bad.
Probably.
I'm surprised you
I'm-
guys are still alive.
I am too.
Akmar just starts shaking a little bit again.
I mean,
Wait.
it's fine if we die. Death is a natural part of life anyway, so...
For
Akmar's
you
just gonna
guys,
turn
not
and
for
look at
me.
you and go, I'd like to keep living a little longer. Thank you. And
for you guys, not for us. Like we are kind of immortal, so y'all have fun with that.
Oh, that's cool.
How old are you, kid?
How long has this forest been around?
Right.
How long has the force been around? Do we know?
You guys probably don't know. You see, like the size of the trees; they're
2
huge.
years.
At least.
Then I'm at least 2 years old.
Probably a lot longer than that, though.
But
We could cut down a tree and count the rings if you want.
he like immediately
I don't think
says that
that's
his
a good
hair
idea.
turns into pure fire and his eyes just starts flaming. He
So-
gets the spear and says, "Do not."
I don't think cutting the tree is a good idea.
Yes.
If
Don't
your
you
head
worry.
bursts on
shit.
fire, it can hurt the life over here.
My trunk is just gonna smack him upside the head.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Dylan started the PvP this time. I'd like to punch him in the. No, I'm kidding.
Sir, you want to tangle with the elephant? Okay.
Neutral
Alright.
good. Neutral
So-
good.
So, as you know, he gets smacked behind the head. He like calms down. His hair turns back into hair. And he's like, "So that's why you all came here, was to ask for help."
Yes. We were told that you, someone in the forest might know how to help us.
Real quick, does anyone here speak Sylvan?
I do.
I can cast comprehend language.
I do know Sylvan.
Okay.
I do know Sylvan. Ha ha!
So,
Good stuff.
Oh,
Ayden, you do, if you want to, well, he's going to start speaking Sylvan to the hawk. So if you do want to cast comprehend languages now, or if you just want to, because, okay, so Rosemary, you hear, Pitoku, do,
I will. I'm gonna cast.
all right. So, Pitoku, do we trust them? And the hawk just goes, and
In Sylvan, Rosemary is going to say, you don't have to trust us, but if you want to help us, that would be nice.
Yes, indeed.
And in common, he says, "See, here's the issue.
Mhm.
The only people who know about curses and stuff is Sasi and Yara, and they both don't like visitors."
Well, we don't have to go there if you want to bring them to us. We can just kind of hang out here. Worst idea? Okay.
What if we left our weapons behind, the axes and stuff, to show that we're not gonna chop anything down?
And he looks back at the hog. He looks at you guys, like looks up and down. He says in Sylvan, "Well, they're weird like us. I guess they're okay." And like
thank you.
and he just smiles at you with his pointy teeth, and he says in common, "Well, I suppose you all could meet them, and I hopefully just Yara. Sassy is usually in bed. Well, anyways, let's go." And he's like very anxious, like he climbs on top of the hog and starts like riding the hog.
Is that a yes or a no? Okay, I'm gonna keep my accent.
Real quick, Lou. I don't know if you want to be very gracious, but turns out I was looking at the languages that I know, and I actually already know Sylvan. So
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it then. You can have your solo.
What is Sylvan? I've never even heard of this one.
Sylvan
is the language of the Fae.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he starts guiding you guys more into the forest. You guys can have this time to RP up a little bit if you want to.
Siegfried's gonna continue walking, and then turn over to, I need character names, Salros, and he's gonna go, "So, is your Ayden okay?"
Everything is quite all right. Oh, thank you. And you're not going to. You've calmed down. Yes, no more burning things for the time being.
I will do what I must when the time calls for it.
Just if things go sideways, then maybe. But please try to refrain from any of that. We don't want to anger them anymore, and I would prefer to keep my sight. Thank you. Or any other little tricks.
Character names. I'm gonna turn to Rosemary. I'm just gonna kind of look down and kind of point at the mask and go, "So is that like your thing? Like I got the axe, that one's got the fire, that one's an elephant. Are you the bird person thing?"
Kind of and kind of takes the mask off and just leaves it kind of hanging around her neck, and she's well, I mean, I have it because when I was training, they told me that it would keep me safe. I don't really know what it does, if it does anything. I don't think it does anything.
Training?
I'm a cleric.
Oh. Healy person, correct? Mm-hmm. Those are nice to have around. I am a musician, and I'll just kind of point to the bagpipes, but not a great one. So I also do construction, and I just hold up the hammer.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I do. I try to heal people, but also I also try to make sure that the people that I heal, or if they don't actually make it, don't end up being undead, because death is a natural part of life. So if someone dies, then they should probably stay dead so that their soul can eventually go to whatever afterlife that they're supposed to. That's what Kalembor says anyway, and I think that he's right.
Who?
Kalembor, god of death, doesn't like undead very much.
At the mention that you're just like vibing with the god of death, he's gonna like,
well, you realize. Oh, hold on.
Blue, should one of us roll up another character?
Another branch falls on top of you. You take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Who? On top of
Dylan.
I'm so sorry. And the problem is, he's the wizard, right?
Attack the squishy.
How much did you say?
6 bludgeoning.
Kind of hears the branch, just looks over. Oh, are you okay?
Oh, I don't know why this keeps happening to me.
Can I?
And then I want a healing word him.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So, Let me roll a d4. That's going to be first level for now.
Thank
All right,
you.
Dylan, what do you want us to do?
I was gonna say, can I look around up in the trees and try to see anything?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
You heal for 5, by the way.
Thank you. Actually, instead of like just looking, can I actually like sniff around and see if there's any unfamiliar scents?
Of course.
So if I'm smelling, then I have
Yep.
advantage.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so 16.
All right. So the air, ever since you got out of the boats, is the mold, very humid, wet wood, wet dirt, but it's been like that constant. And even when the branch fell on you, you didn't smell anything odd.
I
Do I
don't
need to-
understand what keeps happening.
Do I need to hold your trunk again?
I'm okay. I can still see clear. But thank you, Rosemary. That was much appreciated.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
It's
take
probably
off.
the curse,
Rosemary,
honestly.
make a Arcana check, please.
All right.
I'm gonna take off my hard hat, which by the way is just flavor, and I'm just gonna pass it to the elephant.
Sure.
Just like
I'm gonna-
I think you.
The
you
hard
need
hat,
this
that's definitely a little too small.
I'm gonna my trunk's gonna grab it and then like put it on top of my head and then look up. I'm gonna take it off and then back to you.
It's not quite the right fit, but the gesture is appreciated.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
take out like a piece of cloth and I'm gonna like tie it around the hat so it's like a chin strap so it can stay on. And I'm gonna be like this.
Much appreciated, but you should keep that. I'll be okay.
Okay, and I'll just boop, put the flavor
Rosemary.
hat.
On that Arcana check, that's a 15.
Okay. With that, you've noticed this act of bad luck has been happening ever since the bottle broke.
It's the curse.
It's the curse. It's definitely the curse. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Rosemary just kind of shrugs, like,
So, do you share with the party that information?
I mean, like, after healing him, she did say, like, I mean, it's probably the curse, let's be honest.
There we go. And as you said that, Pyrrha, oh yeah, never mind. The little kid turns back and is like, "Yep, curse. Bad
Yep.
luck stuff happens. Yep."
I'm gonna turn to this kid and go. Oh, by the way, do you have a name?
Yeah. My name is Pyrrha, but everyone calls me Pyrrha here.
Hira. Okay.
And this is Pitoko, and he like pets the hog a bit more. And the hog goes,
Hi, Pitoko.
So
If you don't mind me asking, since you know Sylvan, does that mean that you are Fae-ish?
I don't know what Fae is. This is just the language we'll talk around here.
Okay.
As you guys are walking, there's a gust of wind, like very strong behind you guys, and it seems to like form a small little tornado in front of you guys. And with the wind comes this disturbing whistle noise. You can't really tell if it's from the wind or if it's actually someone whistling. But as the little tornado forms, it smokes out, I suppose. And a young man with dark brown skin, with a pipe in his mouth, red hat, and only one leg appears in front of you guys. And and Pyrrha freezes up. And he's just like, "Hi! How are you, Sussy? Hey, it's been a minute."
Oh.
And the guy with the red hat just like blows in his pipe. It's just like, "Yara doesn't like visitors, Pyrrha. You know that." And the little boy's just like, "You see, these people, they are adventurers.
Negotiators.
Yeah."
We have curse. We need
im-
help.
Ambassadors.
All right.
First.
We got curse. Can you help?
Like, I'm just like ambassadors. You are like, "Aye, we're cursed. Assistants."
We got curse. Want
So
to help?
first, Jay, please make a deception check.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not lying. I'm not lying.
Ambassadors.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're here to keep peace between the town and the people. That's what you believe, are we?
I mean,
Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
That's what. Okay, that's. I would like to say. I would like to say that is the way that Rosemary put it. So that is now what is in his head.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
So that was not a lie.
I won't ask you to roll for that.
I can roll a stupid check, if that works.
No, it's all good.
Just
All right.
he's gonna. So I was just gonna hand you the bottle. It's just and on it, I was just gonna just say "dumb bee juice."
So
I like bees. Chug.
as you guys are like saying this stuff, Kira just looks back at you guys like with the most cringe grin ever, just like he just like turns back to like the little like the guy and just goes like, yeah. And the guy with the red hat just like shrugs and is just like, yeah, no. And smoke just fogs up your trail and no one can see. Now give me a second.
I'm gonna take
Before he
out
does
my
that, can I try
axe.
Hold up.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what happened. The second it smokes up, you guys feel like a sense of dizziness. And as the smoke quiets down, Jay,
Mhm.
you look and you now suddenly have a trunk. Rosemary,
Hi.
you feel weird and you don't have that feeling of the mask completely covering your face. Just slightly, as you all notice, you all have switched bodies. So Jay, you're now in the body of Dylan's character.
Oh my god.
Rosemary, you're now in the body of Siegfried's character.
Oh.
And Jesus, just don't even worry about stats.
Okay, so I'm gonna like see the trunk and I'm gonna go ah, and then I'm gonna look at both my heads and go ah, and then I'm gonna realize how tall I am and I'm just gonna go ah.
So
Out of curiosity, does Siegfried have horns?
Yes.
Just kind of like feels the mask, feels. Oh, that's what that. Oh, okay, I see what happened.
So we just swapped. So me and Jay switched. And
Yes.
Then, okay. So I was gonna look at Jay.
Oh, you look like me now.
And he's gonna as he like points up, he's gonna look at his hands like,
I hope y'all paid attention for character introductions. So,
Jay,
you see,
damn me.
What do you need?
so you see the little the guy with the red head just like laughing. He like falls on the ground. He's like one leg is like in the air. He's just having a great time. And Pyrrha looks back. He's like, Sassino.
Wait, I have a
And-
question for the DM.
Yeah.
Would our voices be the same, or do I have to talk like this now? I just need to
Your
know.
voices are the same.
Okay, dang it. I really wanted to make Dylan have to sound like me, trying to make my voice slightly different. I'm just gonna realize what's happening and like how high off the ground I am. How tall is your elephant? Like 8 feet tall?
I'm 8 foot.
Yeah, I'm 6'5", so I'm just gonna sit down and kind of go, oh, and then I'm gonna like, why can I smell everything?
Yeah,
It's
no,
okay,
Jay,
just
I need to
Go down.
shower.
literally,
Feels
Jay,
the
literally,
feels.
you sit down and like just noises everywhere. You can hear every like little creature around you. The smell is overwhelming. Like the smell, like you smell wet dirt before, but nothing like this. It's just overwhelming.
The trunk's
Um,
just going, like, trying to pick up which smells coming from where. His eyes are like rolling in the back of his head. He's like, how do you live like this?
Rosemary kind of goes over to where her body is. It's just like kind of still patting the horns a little bit. And says, "It's kind of fun." Anyway, how are you doing in there?
I'm gonna start like not hard, but just like bapping Rosemary on the forehead.
So
Give me back,
yeah,
give me back to my body.
Mike.
I don't know how to fix this, but you can. How do you like the mask? It might. I don't know if it's too tight or loose.
Talking about that, Mike, the way because you are not used to like having a mask covering your face, you like the stuff as you breathe, the glasses fog up.
Also, like at the very tip of the beak of the plague doctor's mask, there are rose petals in there, so it does smell like roses in there.
One thing to note is that Siegfried does have scales going from his eye to like the cheek. So if you take off the mask, you'll feel white scales on the left side, and Siegfried's going to like take off the mask, go, and then put it back on.
As
Keep it on. You can, and then she's gonna go over and like gently pull down the mask and so that it's like resting around his neck. There you go. And then she's gonna take off his mask and like put it on her body. Does that feel better?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. She took the mask off. What does the character look like without the mask?
Rosemary?
No,
Oh,
you took off Mike's
Siegfried.
character's mask. What does the character look like?
There's a
Oh,
mask.
Siegfried has like very messy black hair. One eye is a blue dragon eye, and he has white scales that kind of mesh into his bluish tiefling skin. Where the cracks are in the scales, I see white, kind of like not magic, but like just veins just go through it. That goes down to his cheek, and that's where the mask cuts off, so people don't see it.
Okay.
Young face.
I'm just like overwhelmed by the smell and everything, and he's gonna freaking Akmar is gonna turn to. How do you say your character's name, Dylan?
Selros.
Selros. Okay. He's gonna just turn to Selros and go, it's so overwhelming. How do you deal with and then he's just gonna like take the trunk and just hold his hand over it so he can't smell anymore.
I wouldn't advise doing that. Just calm down. Just take it easy. But
Well,
he's trying to talk. Sorry.
Yeah,
He's
go
trying
ahead,
to
go
talk, but this tooth that's in his mouth, he's so not. He's like,
I don't know how you are able to talk fluently with this.
Stick your bottom lip out just a little bit and you're fine.
Oh, okay.
After kind of helping Siegfried kind of reorient himself a little bit with like taking care of the mask and all that, she's gonna walk over to Sassy, I think is what you said.
Sassy.
Yeah, Sassy. Kind of goes over and says, hi.
She's just in the floor laughing. Just like immediately as you get up to him, he's like, what?
Hi. Sorry to disturb you. We don't want to cause any trouble, but we still need help. And also, can you put us back in our bodies, please?
He hops up and like in one leg. They just go, no, you're outsiders. I'm not gonna help you. And like Pira just looks at him, just like goes, like, bruh.
So I'm gonna like stand up to my full height, and I'm just a little dizzy, still trying to get my bearings, and I'm just gonna like grab a tree and lean on it, like not like breaking it or anything. I'm just trying to catch myself on a tree branch or something, and I'm just gonna go, put us back, please. So loud.
I'm gonna kind of walk up to them and say,
well, as you can see, none of us are actually human. Most of us are from the animal world. We are part of nature.
Honestly, most of us are kind of outsiders to humans. Like,
exactly.
I don't know about Loxodons, but kind of gestures to the Loxodon audiences. I mean, not a lot of people like big giants. I know I got chased out of a couple of villages because I'm half drow. A lot of people don't like tieflings because of their association with devils, and orcs are like, no one really likes orcs very much. A lot of us are outsiders as is. I like you, I promise. But
Right,
a lot of humans don't. A lot of
saying
humans
that-
don't like us very much.
Yeah, as he's saying that, he looks like you guys up and down. It's like, was pretty fun, you have to admit. All right,
It
well,
was kind of funny.
No.
here's the deal. I did this because I wanted to see how vulnerable you guys were in case I did need to kill you all. Which would be fairly easy, obviously. Well, I still don't think it's a good idea for y'all to see Yara. And Pira just like jumps off Pitoko and like runs for Sassy. He's like, no, they're cursed. They need help. And he just looks at him, just like, that's on them. And
A man bumped into me. Oh, I'm so high off the ground.
Yeah, someone was doing some sort of demon ritual. We accidentally ran into him, and then we got cursed.
Quite literally.
as you mentioned the demon ritual, he looks up and he's like, "Oh, makes sense. Okay, yeah, it's Friday too, right? Yep. Okay, so this is what happened. You disrupt a demon in the bottle ritual.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna die probably by the end of the night if you don't get this removed.
Okay.
The elephant is shaking.
The tree you're holding on just goes.
I let go. I immediately let go as to not like make them think I'm gonna break the tree, and then I just like fall.
And he just looks at like you guys like, I honestly don't know how to get rid of this curse. But here is right. The only person who would know is Yara. But and as he's saying, like as he's about to say, but you hear the voice again, the same beautiful, sweet, melodic voice covering the air.
This reminds me of Frozen 2.
Kind of,
Yes.
but think of it's like that, but a little bit deeper and stronger. And but it's like still just vocalizing. It's not like actually words. It's just vocalizing. But this time seems to be a bit of a sadder tone.
The elephant goes to reach for his bagpipes and realizes he's in the wrong body and just goes.
So
Rosemary's gonna kind of look around for a second, goes over to her body, sifts, like literally just like goes over, sifts through her bag a little bit, and pulls out the flute.
so he like looks at you guys, looks up at the moon again, and like so does Pyrrha, and like Pyrrha like looks down at him, as I see and says, "Victoria must be sad today. That's why she's singing." And like Sassy like sighs deeper, is like, "Yep.
Who is that, pray tell?"
Well, Yara is this mermaid. She lives by the pond. And Victoria is almost like a little sister to her. And he looks up at the full moon and looks back at you guys. She lost someone very special. Well, she actually never met this very special person. But it's complicated. Anyways.
Most relationships are.
And he like looks at you struggling. He's like, "Oh, right." He like puffs a bit more in his pipe, and he blows the smoke out, and your bodies once again are covered.
Lou, your mic's acting up.
It's my
I
mic.
heard.
I think.
I think it's you.
I'm hearing something too.
Yeah.
They're like feedback or something.
I think. Are your headphones charged?
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Okay, it's
Okay,
gone now.
okay,
Keep going.
So he like blows again in the pipe, and like he blows, and the smoke from the pipe covers you guys again. You feel like the same sense of dizziness, and you come back to your own bodies.
As soon as that happens, Rosemary takes off the mask that she gave Siegfried, gives it back to him, and takes her flute back.
I'm just gonna, without thinking, just like look down, get super excited, and then just pick up Rosemary in a hug, and then go, "Oh!" and just put you back down.
Aww! And Rosemary's gonna jump up to hug you again.
Yes.
Okay.
He will reciprocate the hug.
I'm gonna give a long, like, big, open stretch.
Oh,
Yeah,
feels
turn
good
to
to get back
Rosemary.
my body.
What'd you say, Mike?
I'm gonna turn to Rosemary and say, "How does your back survive that weight?"
I mean,
Oh, he still
Kinda
has your
stressed.
flute too.
she took it back. She
It's
kind of
okay.
just shrugs and says,
So, Sassy looks at you guys. It's like, listen, today is not the best day to go see them because Victoria will be in a bad mood, and they are both extremely shy.
I'll kind of put down Rosemary and give her a little head pat, and then I'll turn and go, "Fair, but we don't have another day."
"We have
Yeah.
at the end of today."
I understand that.
So is
But-
there something they like or we could do to help fix their mood?
Makes him feel better. Cheer them up a little bit.
And I'll just kind of start reaching for the bagpipes, like, please be music, please be music, please
He
be
looks
music.
at you and he's just like, maybe not that.
Is there an obligatory
just
flower montage we can pick? Sorry.
They just, they are very shy. They're very scared of outsiders. So, politeness and being gentle with words would be the best bet to go.
And I'll just point goes, so when we get there, only Rosemary gets to talk.
What?
and Pyrrha goes, oh, I'm also really good friends with them. I can help you all.
Okay.
Alrighty, so Sassy, once again, in a gust of wind, curls up in a little tornado and poofs out of there. Pyrrha hops on back onto Pitoku, and he starts heading deeper into the woods, like into trails that did not seem like trails, but as he stepped through the bushes, you can clearly see like his backwards footprints where they have already been. You guys are going through this deeper part of the forest. Like, this trail is not a hunter's trail or like a trail period. It's like something that Pyrrha has carved out himself. So, you know, the Loxodon's very much hitting the branches. He has to like really duck.
Take a D4 of bludgeoning damage.
Well,
I'm just gonna duck
Jay,
as I'm.
because like
I'm just gonna offer him the
Pyrrha-
helmet one more time.
Pyrrha is 3 foot. So anyone kind of above that is having to like duck down a bit, like dodge out some branches. But like you, Dylan, you're struggling. All right. Anyways, as you guys are getting closer and closer to said pond that Sassy said Yara lives by, the voice. The voice keeps getting louder and louder and sweeter as you guys come closer. Would you guys like to make a perception check?
I would love to make a perception
Yes.
check.
All right, go ahead.
Ooh. 17.
Oh. Plus my bonus, that's gonna be a 23 for me.
Dang. Okay.
I know
I
how
had
it
to
feels,
pick-
Dylan.
Jay?
I-
He wouldn't.
All right.
He's not. He's just vibing to the music.
So, you two, besides Mike, as you guys getting closer, you see these 2 girls. One sitting by a rock, and another one sitting in a lily pad. The girl sitting in a lily pad seems way younger, like around 13 or so, and she seems very ghostly, like she's not fully there. But she has a beautiful lily pad flower blooming over her head. And the girl sitting in the rock, she's way older. She seems to be early 20s. And she has a beautiful mermaid tail. And as they hear your footsteps, the young girl in the lily pad quickly ducks and goes underneath the lily pad. And as she goes, the flower blooms in the actual lily pad. And the mermaid picks up a dagger that it's a normal size dagger, but it seems to be made out of a single pearl. It's beautiful. And she just like gets ready as you guys approach, and you're finally out of the trail, and
So-
you see.
When you were describing the very handsome man earlier, Rosemary was very straightforward. Showed no interest, just like, yeah, we need help. What's up? This beautiful young woman who is sitting on this rock before her with a knife in front of her. Rosemary is staring. She's wearing the plague mask, but she's like kind of hunched over and staring, and she just can't even stop herself from saying, "You're beautiful."
Akmar just goes, yeah.
Okay, so a bit more description of like this beautiful girl sitting in the rock. She has very long green hair. She's tanned, and she has these beautiful, like, rich brown eyes, and has red flowers on her hair and her clothes.
I'm,
So yeah, she's really beautiful.
Akbar's gonna reach back and he's gonna take his great axe and he's just gonna set it on the ground,
And as
like
you get
as a
her,
show of, like he's very one hand out very slowly, like we're chill, bro.
Salros is gonna kind of walk up. He is holding like a staff, so he's almost using it as like a walking cane.
her rock is in the middle of the lake. She's not necessarily close to like the shore, but she can still see you guys. She's around 15 feet inside the lake.
Okay.
Rosemary, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, Salros is just gonna kind of wave.
Excuse us. We don't mean any harm. We would just like to ask you maybe a question or two, if that would be all right.
Outsiders are not welcome here.
We understand that. But you see, we are in need of help. And we were told that you possibly might be able to help us.
You scared little Victoria. And you have weapons.
Again, my axe is on the ground.
Rosemary at this point just like kind of shakes herself out of her stupor, drops like her mace, her crossbow, her shield, even kicks it all to the side.
As you do that very suddenly, she like steps back and like getting ready to throw the dagger.
I just move in front and I'm just gonna walk towards the shore, and I'm just gonna sit crisscross applesauce. I'm gonna look at her and go, we could use help.
As you sit next to the shore, you look down to the water and you see humanoid bones and skeletons.
Yeah, I'm not touching the water. I'm just sitting by it. And I'm just gonna point and I'm gonna say, if you're capable of all of this, then you shouldn't have to worry about us.
I didn't mean to do that to them.
Rosemary kind of sits down next to Akmar. I did have to tell
I can't remember my own character's name. This name generator really did me dirty with this one.
I write y'all's down.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so she sits down next to Akmar, and after kicking away all of her like weaponry and stuff, like it's all like kicked off to the side. And she slowly takes off the plague doctor's mask, and instead of letting it rest on her neck, she puts it to the side and pulls down her hood so that like her hair is visible, and she says, you said you didn't mean to do this, but were you just defending yourself?
And she is like looking very uncomfortable. She's just like, what do you all want?
We got cursed a little bit.
Cursed. And as you guys are saying that, she notices Pyrrha coming out of the bushes. He seems paler than usual. Like he seems to have a guilt to his look for bringing you guys here and clearly scaring both of them. So she just like looks at him. She's like, Pyrrha, you can't bring people here. And
I'm just gonna hold a hand up and I'm gonna say one thing at a time. That, and I'll point to the pool. Accidents happen. Pyrrha is trying to help us. We're gonna die if we don't get help, which is why we're here. We're also hoping we can help solve your problem with the hunters. We're here to help.
So Salros also adds,
It wasn't the boy's fault. Please, don't blame him. We kind of, we requested it of him. He was hesitant, but we did plead our case to him, as if we might to you.
She looks at the dagger. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry, just two things. First thing being, real quick out of game, thank you, Daxios the Daring.
Yes, I was trying to figure out where to say that.
Thank you
so much.
Second thing, Siegfried is going to walk over to the pool and then look down and say, if I may, real fast, can I touch it? Some of the bones? I'm not going to do anything, I promise.
Yes, can touch the bones.
You're just gonna like reach down and grab one of the nearest skulls and then take off his skull
As
mask.
you reach down, it seems the water seems to be way deeper than it actually looks like. So actually, like, you have to reach like almost shoulder deep into
I'll
the
kind of
water.
grab his arm to make sure it doesn't fall in.
It's okay. I'm good. It's all right. I've been through worse. And he'll like grab one of the skulls and just like take off his skull mask. He goes, they're very similar. It's very cool.
I suppose
back
so.
We're,
Any-
Outsiders allowed here.
we're kind of weird. I'm sorry.
Um, you see, I like to sing, and
It's very beautiful, by the way. I mean, sorry, keep going.
that's the issue. There's men that come here trying to take me away because of, I guess, my beauty and my voice. And if they're are not trying to take me away because of that, they try to kill me.
Upon hearing this, Rosemary, just still on her knees, gently like scooches herself like to face the party, and she kind of says, like, kind of whispers to them, leans forward conspiratorially, and says, "So I don't know how comfortable you all are with murder, but this sounds like a problem."
So
And
you
if we
whisper
could
that,
take
right?
care of it- Yeah, she whispered it to the party of just like, if we can take care of those what's the word that that one guy from
Bastards.
Yes,
Bastards.
bastards. If we can take care of those bastards, I think that would be very helpful.
So as you're whispering that to the party, Pyrrha like perks up and says like, I think they already have gotten what they deserved, and he points to the water.
Are there
Oh.
any more?
There aren't any more, are there? We can take care of them.
Pyrrha like sighs, like they always come, and so that's why we have to hide the trails here.
I'm gonna kind of look back to the lady at the middle of the lake, and I'm gonna go, my beautiful, my good lady. If I may ask, how often, and are they people from the town?
Yes, they are people from the town.
Any specific people? A drippy man hasn't come through here, has he?
And
What a
as you
pleasure.
said,
Drippy
as you
pink
say
man.
that, as you
What
say
if
that,
you
she like, she's like, you didn't hurt him, did you?
No.
I think he was just a little bit annoyed at us, but he didn't. I
No,
don't think
he's
us or anything.
we got on it. Who is the drippy man?
He smells like sashimi.
Oh. You met a friend of ours. He's also, and she like gestures to like Pyrrha herself and the lily pad. He's also one of us. He does like to interact with the people in the town, though.
That's why he's pink. Okay.
His name is Botu, and well, he's sort of a shapeshifter.
So I question for you then. If the town we know for a fact likes him and his business a lot, why have you not used him as an ambassador to make sure people don't come after you?
If he has done questionable things, but people never notices him. So I don't think
He
if
was
the
definitely
people-
being noticed earlier. He was surrounded by
Yes,
people.
he is a shapeshifter. He turns into a pink dolphin. If people were to know that it was him, here's the thing. Sometimes in his business in town, he can get some ladies pregnant. The child becomes cursed.
You're really not selling him in a good light, are you?
He does so very consensually. I can assure you.
He sounds. I'm sure he's a good person. He just sounds a little. What's the word I'm looking for? Impulsive, I guess.
So he obviously does not miss.
So here's my next question. Does he take care of the children, and are they in good health?
Uh,
I mean, they're
the
cursed.
children don't survive much to see him again. He only comes in full moons.
So,
Rosemary, I know they're cursed. I am too. You can live with curses.
we're not here to talk about the drippy man just yet. We're actually here to one see if you can help us, and also, but if you would do so, if we could find a way to help you.
All I wish is that the locals would stop harassing us.
Do you know of a way we could make them stop without exposing you?
Their ignorance, they don't listen.
What if, and I'll just kind of crack my neck slightly, we made them?
Yeah, that could work.
Light on
Wait.
fire.
Gently
What-
in both hands. In one hand, there's like light necrotic energy, and then a second later, there's light radiant energy in the other hand. Yeah, we can make them listen.
Two more things actually. Also, why do you know what is causing the curse? Is that you all, or is that
Which curse?
Demon in
something
a
about
bottle curse.
yeah?
Oh! No, that is not us. Here's the thing. You are all very familiar with what warlocks are, yes?
Yes.
The demon
No.
and the curse. Okay. Well,
Keep
What-
talking. They'll explain it to me later.
Like me, but with demons.
with the
And with
demon in the bottle, it's also a deal to a fiend-ish creature. But instead of gaining actual powers like your friend, and she points to you, Rosemary, they gain everlasting wealth for themselves for the rest of their lives. The problem with that is their lives don't last that long. And when they do die, their soul belongs to the demon. So there is a series of things you have to do for the deal to be actually made. And it cannot be interrupted. And I assume you all interrupted?
I
The
accident.
man bumped into me and then exploded. So
Package the
couple-
ashes.
couple things. One, if we wanted, we have the curse now. We need to get rid of it. You can help, correct?
I know of who can.
That would be
It-
great if you can just point us in a direction.
Would that person be the one who causes the curses?
No, but she is definitely someone who can get rid of it.
Who is causing them? Because we also need to
It's-
stop that from happening. Because that will also, if there is no promise of wealth, then the people would not come here.
That it's multiple crossroads demon. You can't really kill just one to get rid of all of them. It's multiple, and it's a very people don't do it unless they're absolutely desperate. I can assure you that curse is the least of your concerns to stop. It's-
Okay.
Very trust me, we all have thought about it because family members have also come here, but they are not as, I suppose, nice as you all. Yes, Mike, go ahead.
So Siegfried will actually raise his hand.
Oh,
Can we kill this demon?
Canonically, just like
sorry.
Can we kill the demon?
A demon, if you are interrupted, he's already been set free and has to go back to lower level of hell he comes from.
Okay. So we just need to focus then on,
Getting rid of yours.
that. Yeah. So
Okay.
how? And then if you help us, we will, to the best of our abilities, help you. We're not gonna wipe out the town or anything, but we can make them come to a deal. I guess I don't quite know. I'm not good
She
with.
says under her breath, she's like, I wouldn't mind that. Okay, so to
I'll just kind of point to the axe and go. I mean, I can take out as many as you need if I have to.
it is okay. So and she like lifts up her tail. She's like, I can't take you to her. But, and she looks at the little lily pad. She might. So she like lowers herself to like the water level, like just her neck sticking out of the water, and she started like splashing the water in a rhythmically way. She's like also muttering something to herself. If you guys want, you can take a perception check to see if you can hear.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, to hear?
Yeah,
Does
to
that-
hear what she's muttering.
Does that mean I have advantage because of my
Yes,
keen
you
senses?
would.
While she's doing that, I'm just gonna like slowly just like go over to Rosemary and just whisper in. So are we thinking mass murder? Because we can murder the town. Just straight clean.
How?
18.
There's like a little.
Okay.
But we can figure something out. And I got a 17 on that perception check.
Okay.
19.
All right.
17,
Yes.
19. Hey.
Nice, y'all. Okay. Whoa, where is it? There we go. Okay. So y'all can hear it. All of you guys can hear it. Besides Jay, of course.
He
But,
he wouldn't try.
As she's
He's too
splashing,
distracted by
you
hot
can hear
cheese.
you can hear she's like singing kind of like a rhythmically like taki pa taki chiquete chiquete tumba 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 yepo ituki tuki yepo ituki tuki, yeah, and she like splashes a lily pad, and the like you see like bubbles coming out like rhythmically from underneath the lily pad as well, and like the little ghost girl like pops up underneath the lily pad.
What does she look like?
She looks to be indigenous.
That was a very large word that I do not know the meaning of.
Native South American.
Okay, cool. Keep going. Now I feel like a bad person.
You're fine, hon. She has very long black hair, but she's almost translucent. Like the colors are still there, like the rich color of her skin, the rich color of her hair, they're all still there. But the only thing that's like actually solid is the beautiful like pink lily pad flower on top of her head. And she just like comes out of like the lily pad and like climbs on top of it and sits back down again. And the mermaid goes up to her and she's like, they need your help. They have been cursed and they need to go find Kuka. And as she mentions that name, the little girl gets like a bit startled, and she looks at you all, and she looks at Pyrrha, and as she looks at Pyrrha, she sighs a bit. Like, did you really bring them here?
When she looks at us, I'm just gonna give her the best orcish smile and just tip my hard hat.
Could Siegfried
Yeah,
like
Rosemary
hold out his
Rosemary
hand?
waves and just smiles.
Alright.
Could
Like,
Siegfried hold out his hand and another dragon claw comes out, just slowly, and just goes up to her with a high five.
She's in the middle of a rock.
no,
Like,
yeah,
Mage
She-
hand, right?
yeah, maybe.
Oh, mage hand. Okay.
She like get very startled by like the ghostly hand coming at her. She like almost like ducks down again, and she just touches it and it's like it smokes out. Like gives a very pretty smile. She's beautiful as well. She's a 13-year-old, but she's like beautiful.
So Celeros sees that kind of magic kind of brought her joy, so he's gonna kind of like think to himself for a second. And he's like,
Okay.
so he kind of lifts up his hand as I cast dancing lights. So these beautiful colors, lights just start floating around the water and start.
And you
Yeah.
saw she was very much kept to herself, and as she's seen the dancing light, she like brings up, and she's just in absolute awe.
I'm gonna slowly reach for my
Rosemary-
bagpipes.
Rosemary's gonna put out the dancing lights, and she's gonna start singing a song in Undercommon, like a drow kind of lullaby in Undercommon, and she's gonna make her dancing lights kind of sway to the beat.
I'll try to match it with
Okay,
bagpipes.
Okay.
I'll see that you're doing it a certain way, so I'll kind of look over and I'll kind of match the same.
Love that. She like stands up from her lily pad, and you can see she seems to be weightless. and she starts stepping on the water. You can see like ripples as she touches it, but she doesn't like go any deeper. And she just seems to like be dancing with the dancing lights in the song you guys are producing. Surprisingly, even though you've never heard the song, Jay, you are actually catching on pretty well.
Thank goodness you didn't make me roll for it.
It is a nice moment. I'm not gonna ruin it with a bad roll.
I was gonna say this whole scene in my head right now is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
beautiful.
It's just like I grab my
Shatters
bagpipes.
with a
This pond is not very big. There's like a little waterfall in the back, and it also seems to like glow, like bioluminescent, like flowers and plants around it. So it's surely a beautiful sight.
Because like it's dark out, right?
Yeah, it is very dark.
I'm gonna lean over to Zenifred. Mike, how do you say your character's name?
Siegfried.
Siegfried. I'm gonna stop playing for a second. And go. Can you sing?
Siegfried, who's this entire time has had his hand, like fingers in his ears, just like turn to you. You did not just ask me to sing, did you?
No, I didn't ask you too. I said, can you?
Well, you already had someone singing.
That
We did?
who you've fun.
Yeah.
Rosemary is singing.
Rosemary is
that's
singing.
right. I forgot. I thought you were playing the flute for some. Anyway, what were you saying, Mike?
She's busy with the spell, the cantrip.
What do you want?
I just wanted to know if you wanted to join in
No.
with something.
I love my character so
And
much.
I'll just kind of give him the weird side eyes as I move the thing for the bagpipe around to my tooth and just start playing again.
Sorry. Okay, so so sorry, my dad just scared me. In a second. Okay. So you see like she's dancing around, and you even see like Yara the mermaid is like humming, somewhat trying to harmonize with the tune you're
With
singing.
the bagpipe.
So the girl finally calms down after this like little moment. She looks up and looks at the moon, and you see like a single tear falling, and she starts heading towards you guys.
I'll offer her my hand as she gets closer.
As you offer her, she like holds back, and she reaches out and goes through. She's a ghost.
Oh, okay, and I'll just go, my bad.
Just nods and looks at Pyrrha, and like with a very disappointing look, smiles back at him. She walks through you all like she's a ghost. So
Yeah.
she very shyly like starts leading the way. And yeah, go ahead.
As I walk past my great axe, I'm gonna turn back to the mermaid and I'm just gonna go, can I? And I'm gonna point to it. Am I good? Like, and I'll like bend down like I'm gonna pick it up to make
And
sure she's not gonna chuck a knife at me.
She looks at you, and she looks at the little girl in the lily pad, smiling, and she goes, "Yes, you have my trust."
And I'll pick it up and I'll go, I won't let anything happen to her. And whoop on my back.
Please. I care a lot about her, and if she does get hurt, I will kill you.
And I will look at her. I'll look her dead in the eye and I'll go, I won't put up a fight. And I'll walk out.
You
Rosemary.
have her word.
Rosemary's still like on her knees, kind of sitting by the pond, scooches herself like to face Yara one more time, and she says, "Thank you for your help, and if everything goes well, we will do our best to help you.
Before
Assuming
y'all
we
leave,
Assuming we don't die by the end of the day."
I must warn you. Where you guys are heading, it is a very dangerous area. And there are some creatures like us who are not as kind.
Well,
And the person who you're going to see, they don't do things for free.
and
Understood.
Rosemary's gonna put her mask on. She says, "Well, we're adventurers. We're used to danger. If nothing else, if the curse doesn't kill us, and if they don't kill us, we'll come back. And if
Just
we die, we die."
watch your words. And
So Rosemary is only allowed to talk, right? We're in agreement.
and
Excuse me.
be careful with your thoughts.
No thoughts, head empty, gang.
I
Be
wish you all,
gone, thought.
I wish you all good luck, and I really do hope you can get rid of this curse so you can help us.
I
Before
hope
I
so too.
go,
And if it's any consolation, I know you've been hurt because of your beauty, but I think you're very beautiful, not just because of your looks.
She smiles, like a very like genuine like happiness smile. She like dives from her stone and she reaches the shore and she hands you one of her red flowers.
I'm gonna look so jealous.
And she looks at you, Jay, and she sees like your,
The slight like, ah, frick, another one got away.
she looks
Rejected
at you,
again.
she smiles, and she reaches through one of her throwing daggers made of pearls, and she hands it to you.
I'll take it and I'll kind of like look down and I'll be like, and I'll offer her my hammer.
She looks at it, she goes,
I
it's a
think
gift, don't worry.
I think I have one better than you
Oh.
have.
And I'll
And-
put my hair back on if you need anything fixed.
Uh,
Go ahead, Mike.
I can give you
He's gonna walk forward and says, I always write everywhere I go and everyone I meet. And I wrote about you, but it seems you want to keep this place a bit of a secret to people. So just in case, he's going to rip out one of his pages in his notebook.
What was
and
that
if
book
you've
you
ever
just ripped the
seen
page out of?
Gravity
Hold on.
Falls, like how the journals are made, like there's always like a sketch or two.
Uh-huh.
And so he drew a sketch of the two of them, and he's just gonna be like, if you want to throw it away, you can throw it away. If you want to keep it, keep it. I do not care.
First off, out of game, that hurt my soul.
Mike,
Second
what
off,
was that? Well, please tell me that was just a notebook, right? That was like an
Yes.
actual book. Okay.
Okay,
Whew,
okay.
all right, that's fine. That's fine.
so she grabs,
Immediately, everyone calms down.
she grabs the paper and she smiles at you. She tries very carefully to keep it out of the water, and she goes dives, but like still has her hand out of the water with the paper, and puts it behind the rock. Like you can't see, but like it seems like she opens something and puts inside it and closes it. And she goes up the rock. She like waves and she's like, farewell and the best of luck to you all.
And Rosemary's gonna go over, pick up all of her stuff.
As we leave, I'll kind of whisper to Rosemary, and he'll just go, I said I'd protect her, but anything that can hurt that, and I'll point to the girl like walking through trees, is gonna be a lot to handle. But I got a knife, and I'll like hold up, and he'll look genuinely like just super happy about the knife.
As Rosemary's kind of like putting the flower, kind of braiding it through her hair, like under the hood and all of that, so that like it's still there, but also trying to like make sure that it's not going to fall out at any given point in time. As she's doing that, she says, well, there are lots of things that can hurt ghosts and undead, like me.
Wait. Backtrack. You can hurt them, or you're undead?
I can hurt undead. It's a cleric thing. But undead are usually Kalimbo doesn't like undead very much.
Well, we don't know she's undead. She just could go through things.
And you guys are talking this, and like Pyrrha is like walking. He's not on top of the board. He's like walking next to the little girl. She is like slightly taller than him, but he's still like walking very like quietly next to her. He seems to be like talking to her, but somehow he's understanding her response even though she's not talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, there are lots of things that can hurt a lot of things, and I think we'll be okay.
And then I'm gonna hold up the dagger and go, do you think it does anything, or if it's just cool looking?
Can I like roll an Arcana check on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I think Celros would be quite interested, so can he
Yeah,
roll
of
for
course.
advantage?
That will be a 15. for the Arcana check.
15, okay.
Do you want 2 separate ones, like me make one and then Ayden make one, or do you just want Ayden to roll with advantage?
Can I also check?
I'm gonna say, because you 3 are checking, I'm gonna say you guys all roll with separate checks.
Okay.
Because I got a natural 20 for 26.
Dylan just puts his dice away.
He's like, nope, don't need that anymore.
Okay, well,
This is why I play rogues and get expertise. That way I'm always the highest, no matter what.
here's the funny thing. It's just a really cool looking dagger.
That's fine. I just wondered.
I'm just gonna like pat him on the shoulder. Says, "These can kill gods."
And he'll hold him and go, I should give it back then. I don't think I should have this.
No.
much."
She gave it to you for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what you have to do.
And his hand starts shaking again. And I'll just,
I'm very scared with what's gonna happen now.
You'll be okay. You have us with you.
Yeah.
Everything will be okay.
just make sure I don't accidentally shank the wrong god, I guess.
As this is happening, Rosemary is going to very quickly shoot off a prayer to Kalemvor, just to the prayer after like kind of saying the like opening prayer of like thank you for blessings, all that other stuff. Kind of dives in and says, Kalemvor, we're currently being led by a ghost, and I know you don't like undead very much, and death is a natural part of life. But what do you do when But like ghosts, they're lost souls or spirits and the like, and they're not exactly undead. They weren't really raised unnaturally. They are. I feel like they're a natural part of this world. I don't know what to do about this.
So
If you try to, Ayden, I'm gonna say this right now. If you try to shank this ghost, I'm gonna break your character's neck.
as you say this, there's a wind that picks up, and you just hear like some words echoing in your head. Trust. Help. It's okay.
At hearing these words, Rosemary immediately just relaxes. Like, okay, crisis of faith averted. We're good.
So, the little girl, as she is standing before a clearing, she stops. She looks back to you guys, and you hear this voice echoing inside your head. I will not lead you any further. This is as much as I'll go. But right after the clearing, Hira knows the way to the cave.
Will you be all right getting back?
Yes, I know my way back.
But I mean, will people come after you? I said I'd protect you, so I want to make sure you don't.
And she looks at Hira, and she looks at to the floor and around her. I'll use one of Hira's secret trails. Before I leave, did you all really mean that you all were gonna help us?
Mm-hmm. And
Of course.
Every word.
Rosemary nods with the most vigor and genuine that she can express.
Just
while her
neck
face is covered.
breaking.
Yeah, we're gonna help. We're gonna do everything that we can, assuming we don't die by the end of the day. Promise.
What'd you say, Mike?
If you need someone to overthrow a village, I'm just saying it.
Okay, we might not go that
Never.
far, but
She smiles, and she sighs, and she looks up to the moon, and she says, "We're finally gonna have peace, darling." So she walks into the woods and disappears in the shadow.
and I'll just kind of look up at the moon after she disappears and goes, and I'll just look back down and I'll go, is the moon alive? Have you been listening to everything I've said?
Pyrrha looks at you. It's like, moon god. That's not his voice. Moon god. He is in love with her, and she is in love with him, and There was an accident by the lake. She drowned. So, yeah, but now they're closer. So, yeah, the place we should start heading there.
And as we go, Rosemary's gonna lean over, stand next to Siegfried, and quietly be like, "I don't know about those two, but I'm okay with overthrowing a government. I don't know about killing overthrowing a government. I can do."
So,
I don't think it'd be very hard to just find the head and just take out the other members. You can answer, right?
start a riot. Okay, so
Start a riot.
Start a riot.
so
Start a riot.
as you guys walk in this clearing, there's a feeling, like a burning feeling in the back of your head of someone's watching you.
I get very shaky and nervous, like visibly, like he's
So
like
the
he's not pulling any weapons, but very like he's ready. He's doesn't like it.
Kira also gets very anxious and he stops.
Rosemary seems like totally unfazed, but she does reach out and hold Akmar's hand.
He'll take hers and give it a very light squeeze because his hands are very large.
So Siegfried will have very phallic and bad thoughts, and just like give a small grin because he knows someone is going to be reading and thinking about his thoughts. So, you know, small troll.
Dylan, what's your character doing?
He's honestly he's
Vibing.
just vibing. He's honestly looking around. He's trying to analyze everything. Like he's just trying to take everything in. Like
Okay.
at his heart, like because he's a wizard, he's trying to learn as he's like, as he's just admiring the scenery, and he's just trying to put together things like what could possibly be out here that it could like read thoughts, and what she meant exactly, what the mermaid said about be careful of our words and be careful of our thoughts, and what that could possibly mean or lead to.
So as you all stop in the middle of this clearing, like from where the little girls like left you guys, it's been like about 15 minutes you guys have been walking. So where you guys stopped, you hear this voice echoing inside your head. I can smell your fears.
I shake a lot more, and I squeeze. Like I squeeze Rosemary's hand, so like it isn't comfortable anymore for her.
She doesn't seem super phased by it. She still holds his hand, and she just kind of like point blank says out loud, "He can."
I can taste your curse.
Selros is
What does it taste like?
Beef and cheese.
So I was gonna speak up.
Oh, we are not easily frightened. Now, you can reveal yourself, and we can handle this in a civil manner.
The voice keeps saying, I can nail your nightmares.
Siegfried will say, and just whisper in the same tone, "You smell like you have gingivitis."
And I'll
And
look at him.
suddenly-
I'll look at him. And I'll go. They said, "Watch your words."
Mhm.
So, and suddenly, as you say that, Mike, all the trees around you snap as they collapse inwards towards the the clearing, and you see as the tree collapses, like you see the body of a gigantic anaconda with a ever burning blue flame surrounding her body. But the flame doesn't seem to like burn the plants around it. It just seems to like be in her body. You can't see the head, so it's just the body that keeps like surrounding you.
Seeing
Slowly
this,
in pure awe, Rosemary lowers like her mask and she just stares like, wow.
So is that just the fastest way to get something to show itself? Just insult it.
seeing this giant snake and fire and all this like crazy stuff he's not used to happen out of nowhere. He's gonna go for his great axe, and he's gonna realize he did it, and he's just gonna take it off and drop it on the ground, like a hands up kind of a thing, still holding Rosemary's hand. So it was very fast to the axe, and then nope.
Can I quickly make some sort of like check to see, perhaps if I recognize what type of creature this is, in the sense of like, is it like something that's fiendish or something that could be like fae related?
Yeah, I'll say for that, make a. Ooh. I
History?
can't think. I'm thinking if it's either going to be history or arcana, but I think for that it's going to be history.
They can do both.
Thank you.
I'm going to say history for that.
Okay. Oh my god. What is life?
The natural one.
Ooh.
Yeah, you.
We have
can't
not
tell.
been rolling well this game, dude. I think you need
Much,
to tie your
as much
dice
as
to a
you're
new
trying
character.
to analyze,
I know.
there's this sudden like fear towards you that like blinds your mind.
Okay, just for sake, I am going to cast Protection from Good and Evil, and I'm going to protect myself against
Giant snakes.
let's go with aberrations.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, because that is an abjuration spell, I get temporary hit points equal to twice the level of my wizard level, which is 5. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus my intelligence, which is 4. So 14 temporary hit points
All right.
to me.
So, oops, sorry. So you see Pyrrha like freezed up, but he is he is scared, and
Can
yeah, go ahead.
So I do the axe thing, and I'm like still holding Rosemary's hand, like I've not let go. How far away is the kid from me?
He's not that far. You guys are like within like at least 10 or 5 feet of each other.
I just want to like kind of scooch without dropping her hand, so I'm in front of him just in case.
Rosemary, with her other hand, is gonna gently kind of rest it on Pierre's shoulder, like, "Hey, it's okay, we're here."
And he's like shaking, and like the snake, as you guys are noticing, like as she's curling up, it seems like she's closing in the clearing. And the same voice creeps in your mind. Rukira, you know this is my part of the forest.
At that,
You are all not welcome.
Rosemary pulls her hand back away from Pierre, lets go of Akmar's hand, steps forward, mask still around her neck, steps forward and says, "I'm sorry if we've disturbed you, but we need your help. We've been cursed, and apparently you're the only person who can help us. And I know that you don't do anything for free, so what kind of a deal are you willing to make today?"
You hear the voice. You think that's me? No. You're talking about Kuka. I am not that witch.
Where can we find her?
Oh, I don't think you will find her. Not everyone ever again.
I'm just gonna slowly set my hand on my little hammer. It's there. Like, the hammer looks harmless. It's like a carpentry hammer, but I got it there. Just in case.
Pyrrha just says, "Wait, Tata, please. We just need to reach her. We'll be out of your area, please." And finally, you see this huge snake like lifting up her head, and you know the triangular face of an anaconda, with the ever glowing blue flames just surrounding her. But the only difference is, besides she being absolutely gigantic and the flames, her eyes are huge and glowing. And she just says, well, like without moving her mouth, but you still hear the voice in your head. "I don't want excuses. I am getting hungry."
I have a rat in my pocket. Do you want it?
You're back.
She hisses, and she opens her mouth, and you can see like the rows of teeth, and she hisses as you say that. Insolence!
He didn't mean any harm by that. Please, we just need passage.
Why should I help you?
It's more of a help us help you situation.
I have survived floods, plagues, and fires.
Have
I
you
don't
been
need helps of mere mortals.
I'm just gonna pipe up and I'm gonna go, fair, but man has conquered all of those things as well, and they're moving this way. I'm sure they'd get you at some point.
As you mentioned, man, her body just like squeezes, and like it's literally like right next to you all. Like she forced you guys to be like in 5 feet with each other.
I'm gonna scoot so I'm near my great axe.
Okay. She just like hisses even louder, and you can feel the heat of the flame in her body.
Really warm.
Toasty.
Toasty. Warm.
Go ahead. Who is gonna speak?
Rosemary, after you.
Rosemary just looks up at the giant anaconda with no fear in her eyes, like the kind of look of I have stared God in the face and just shrugged at him kind of expression. Like she may or may not have, but that's the kind of look in her eyes as she looks up at this anaconda with no fear, and she says, "We're not here to hurt anybody. We're not here to disturb anything. We just need help, and if there's anything that we can do in return, we will do so. There are mortals in the village nearby who have been causing problems in this forest, I've heard, and we want to take care of them, and we want to make sure that they don't cause any more problems, but we can't do that if we die by the end of the day."
As we are told... Oh, sorry.
That was the end of it.
As we're told, a lot of people like to come over here and try to harm you or get benefits from you forcefully. We're trying to circumvent that, but with the curse that we have at this current moment, we cannot do that. However, we do not mean any harm, and yes, I have a sharp tongue. I apologize for it. However, you do not need all this. We won't attack you if you don't attack us.
She reaches to like get really close to you, like super fast.
I pick up the great axe as soon as she moves towards him.
He, like, when I see, like, a movement from Akmar, I'll just, like, put my hand out, like, to stop. Hopefully, if he does.
Yeah,
and
he'll just hold the great axe.
Just doesn't move. And just, like,
she
look.
is like right like next to you. Like she like sticks her tongue out and like almost like reaches the top of your nose.
Mm-hmm.
She just goes, "Will you all get rid of the men?
We'll do our best.
Will you all
Yes.
murder them or just educate them?"
Maybe
To
a
be-
little
to be
both. It
determined.
kind of depends on how they respond.
Let's say
I love
both.
how this is like such a serious thing. And you're like, well,
It just depends on how they respond. If they don't respond to the education very well, then a murder isn't off the table.
Right, sorry
We're
about that. Go
also
ahead,
trying
Dylan.
to overthrow the government.
Yeah.
Overthrowing the government is also not off the table.
Guys, the snake does not care about the government.
For legal reasons, yes, behind my camera, that was a joke.
For legal reasons.
Going back to the session.
I am not joking.
Dylan, go ahead.
I will overthrow the
I was
government, and that is
I
a threat.
was just gonna say,
Well, of course, peace is the first option, and, well, if it needs to resort to, violence, or brute force, then maybe knocking a few heads together would not be a bad idea. I mean, most humans are half my size, and, easily enough I can conquer their heads together. Snap some sense back into them.
She quickly looks at each and every single one of you and like look very deep into your soul.
Remembering the mind thing, he's just gonna go bread, 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 bread.
And you know, I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Do I get bread advantage?
did everyone just like die for a second? Or is it Oh,
What's up?
I mean, I can't see any of you except for Lou. but
We're still up
that's
on my
me.
end, so that's just you, not the
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah, I
Stream's
think
fine.
it's just on your
Same
end.
here.
Oh,
Stream's
no,
still
you're-
going
Oh,
pretty
you're back
slow.
now. Never mind.
You know what, Jay?
Okay.
I'll say sure.
I was joking, but I
Wait,
rolled an 8, so I'm
Mike.
gonna take that.
Mike, you also were saying that you were like constantly saying like bad stuff for like in your mind.
Do
So
I get
I'll also give
advantage?
you, yeah, I'll also give you advantage on that one.
respect
Rosemary
that. Wisdom
is
saving
not
throw?
doing any of that, but
Yes,
that's
wisdom
gonna be
saving throw.
that's gonna be a 24 from Rosemary on the wisdom
Okay.
save.
That's gonna be-
Clerics, man.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
true.
9, and I'm getting a different dice set because I rolled an
Uh,
8. Then you said you have advantage, and I rolled a 4. So I'm good. That's a 9 from me.
Correct. So Dylan, what'd you get?
19.
All right, Mike.
This is gonna be really hard to believe, but I rolled an 18, and then I rolled again, and I got a natural 20.
I believe you.
Incredible.
Okay.
Incredible.
Oh, wait, you said
Okay.
with advantage? Oh, it doesn't even matter.
Oh no, advantage to the people who were saying that like they were thinking of something.
Oh, something
Uh,
else.
So Dylan,
Yep.
what did you roll again? I'm sorry.
19.
19. Okay, yeah, you pass. Jay, as much as you were focusing so much on the breath, you hear her voice and you feel a slither in your mind as your deep thoughts and all your nightmares are bringing up to like the top of your mind and your like the surface of your thoughts, and just keeps going deeper and deeper. And she like focused on you for like a good minute. She's just like, I love those traumas. And she keeps going deeper into your mind, and then she like snaps back, like you get a bit hurt from like how fast she like brings you back to like reality.
When she snaps back, he's just gonna crash with tears. Just
Okay. So yeah, you hear like the deep chuckle again. Well, I suppose if Hookah doesn't kill you all, there might be some truth to what you all say.
so
There are
he's gonna, after having this snake in his head, he's gonna stand up. He's gonna wipe away his tears, and there's going to be a look of anger. I'm not raging, but a look of anger on his face. And he's gonna just reach into his pocket, and he's gonna just kind of pull out the god-slaying knife. And he's just holding it, and he's gonna turn to the party and go, "Do I tell her?"
Nope. Nope.
Rosemary looks up at the snake one more time with that look of absolutely no fear in her eyes as
He'll
she
put the
says,
knife away.
point blank, there are worse things in this world than death. Death is a kindness, so let's see what happens.
She like steps back, she like looses her body, and you can see she's absolutely huge. You don't know where the end is. She just like looks at you, Rosemary, and she says, you seem to be the wiser out of your friends. She leaves and like she goes back to the shadows, and you just don't see her anymore. You don't even see like the bodies, but you see
Is the feeling still there?
someone's watching you for a little bit, and then it goes away. But you see on the
Cool.
ground there is scorch marks.
As she slithers away, Rosemary just smiles lightly as she normally does and waves and says, bye. Nice to meet you.
Siegfried will take out like the handkerchief from before and then give it to Akmar. It smells like fish. I'm sorry, but
Akbar's gonna like go to take it, and he's gonna look down, and his fists were clenched so hard he's broken skin. There's a little bit of blood, and he's just gonna take it, and he's gonna dab, and then he's just gonna kind of wipe his hand on his pants and go, I had the god knife. I could have.
you could have. However, why stoop down to that level? While yes, that person was not a good person, that doesn't mean we need to kill. And I'm so concerned what the laughing is about.
I keep going with the wholesome moment. Delay the inevitable.
I'm so worried.
And I'll just go.
But, like-
Weren't you talking about weren't you talking about literally killing an entire town?
Yes, but
Yeah.
at the same time, if we go up against the entire town versus a huge snake who can
And I'll
probably
pull back out the god knife and go, it can kill gods. Maybe this is why she gave it to me.
So Selros is like, I mean, out of character, I'd be thinking, how rude. So the snake saying you're the wiser of your friends, how rude. But Selros would be kind of thinking, I wonder if there's still an earshot, or they can still read our minds even though they've left.
I mean,
But-
I can find out.
So,
I also don't like the fact that she was laughing the entire time we were going.
I know.
Really quickly. So this is what happens, right? I'll
Terrifying.
say after that, you guys like immediately start walking where Pyrrha is guiding you guys. Jay,
Oh boy.
make a dex save.
All right, let me. I think it's plus. Yeah, it's +2. Okay. 8.
What is it? So, you're kind of still shocked by everything that happened, and you don't realize the sleeping snake that you stepped on and awaken. You woke him up.
How big is this snake?
It's not as big as the one you just saw.
Is it like a big snake or is it like a garden snake? Like, what are we?
It's a big snake. It's poisonous too, and you take
Okay.
3 poison damage.
Okay, cool. As soon as this snake launches me, hang on. All right, cool. As soon as the snake launches me, still angry but not wasting a rage, I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm just gonna chuck it.
Okay, make an athletics check. He really said yeet.
Oh, I thought it was. Dang it! I thought I was proficient with it, but no, I'm proficient with acrobatics. That sucks. Wait, was it? I thought it was athletics. Oh well. Oh wait, that's a D8, not a D20. Hang on. That's I picked up this bad boy. My bad. One moment. Let's see. Where's the D20 that has? Oh, there we go. Yeah.
He's just been rolling a D8 the entire time.
Haha. No, I haven't. But I've been putting dice in dice
You
jail a
would
lot.
explain the bad rolls.
So that's a 17.
Okay. Yeah. No. You grab the snake and like you grab it by the head and like you can see there's like a second of fear in the snake's eyes as you go, yeet, and you hear in the distance a branch breaking.
Couldn't mid-air Siegfried take out his staff from behind him, have one of the crystals glow, and can he shoot off Ray of Frost in midair?
Oh, don't attack the snake that much, Mike.
No.
It'll
Go ahead.
kill it
Go
before
ahead.
it's-
Go ahead.
The
It will
forest will
reduce
kill
its
us.
movement so it can't come back.
Okay,
What?
does it do damage?
We'll talk about that. 17.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
5 points of damage, and it's reduced by 10 feet of movement.
So, Jay eats the snake and you freaking treat it like a flying target and just
Oh my god.
and the snake parts in half.
No!
And you're all walking with the protector of the forest. So
I claim self-defense.
you
After I yeet the snake, I'm gonna look down at my bite wound, and then I'm gonna look at the kid, and I'm gonna go, that was a reaction? I didn't mean to kill it, just get it away.
his
the-
head is on fire, and
Ah!
grabs his he grabs his spear, and first he's gonna go and whack at Mike. So
You don't have to roll for it. He's gonna let it happen.
okay, he just whacks at it. So you take no, come back. 6 bludgeoning damage, and then he's gonna jump off Mike and like straight to
Okay, I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna be talking the whole time. He's gonna be like, I'm sorry. It bit me. It scared me. I wasn't ready for it. But he was just reacting as well. I will take the punishment. Just don't mess us up. We still need to get rid of the curse to keep the promises to the people because we now owe a giant snake deity thing.
So
And if we make it mad, it will eat you.
does a 7 hit, Jay?
No.
Yeah.
He's talking as he's like defending himself, and then
So-
just like bow.
Can I just
Yeah.
catch the spear and
Yeah,
just
I
pick
can.
the kid up by it, and then just be like, "It was a mistake. It was not on purpose. Calm down." And I'm
His
just
eyes are
holding.
flaming, and he tries to kick you, but like the top of it, like the front of his foot's like backwards, so he can't kick you. He doesn't reach that far.
It was one snake. We just got attacked, almost killed by a bigger snake. It was a reaction. I apologize. If you're going to act like this, we can find the curse on our own. And there's
You can
still
vote-
tears.
You can
just
stab me if
streaming.
you want to, because I did the harming.
He calms down. His eyes like come back to normal, and
I'll
he
drop
just
the
like
spear.
yeah. It's like I've been helping you all this entire time. You can't hurt things in the forest. Period.
Got it.
Okay,
Wait,
excuse her.
I have a question. If something hurts us, if we react in self-defense, what I did was not okay. However, if we react in self-defense, is that still bad? I'm
Yes.
legitimately asking. I would like to
The
know.
snake reacted in self-defense. He stepped on it when he was sleeping.
Fair. Okay.
He's very
And
big.
he will watch where he's going from now on.
Very big. It can be hard to see things on the ground when you're kind of gestured to how tall Akmar and Selros are. Just like, it can be hard to see from as high as they are, and the snake was sleeping, and yeah, we'll be more careful.
You
We'll
look over
keep an eye
at
out.
Akmar, and you can tell the reason he did not see this snake is because he has hardcore been like silently ugly crying since the big snake. Tears were
Hero-
just.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Pyrrha looks at you and he like notices you're crying. He looks at like the corpse of the snake. He goes back and like digs a little bit and like buries the snake. And just looks back.
Wait, before
Oh, Ayden, no.
Yes, Ayden.
Can I
What's up?
can I cast Revivify on the snake?
Are you gonna use your yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Cool. I burn a 3rd level spell slot and cast Revivify on the snake.
Awesome. So you touch both halves and the snake comes back together. But like the part where like it basically stitched up has like a different pattern. It just looks like there's the scar of the snake. Okay. And Hira like lifts up the snake, he like pets it a bit and he like lets go and he looks back at you and says, "Thank you."
Of course. They're-
We're getting close to the cave.
I do recall that clerics don't get their spells back until after a long rest, correct?
Yep.
Never mind. I was gonna
So
I was gonna
will-
cast Catnap for us, and so we can take a quick 10-minute short rest.
So I
Not
will
getting those
continue.
spells. I still
I
have
will-
one more 3rd level spell slot.
I will
Alright? If worse
continue
comes to worse, I
fighting.
still
I
have
will
one more Revivify.
continue making my barbarian fight the urge to punch things. I almost shanked that big snake.
That would have been so bad, let me
Yeah,
tell
I know.
you.
When I mentioned picking up the great axe, I saw the look on your face, and I went, "Nope, I'm gonna metagame here."
Oh Lord. Alright, so he guides you and you guys reach this cave. The English. Alright, I know these words. The stalactites and stalagmites are shaped in a way that looks like teeth. And the whole cave itself looked like a crocodile skull.
This is some Legend of Chima crap right here.
Alright, so Pyrrha looks at you all and he starts counting up and he's just like, oh. So here's the thing. At least you guys are not humans. That helps.
I think at least 2 of us have some human parentage, but
Right. But Kuka likes the taste of humans better. Especially children. And you all don't seem to have anything to offer her.
I'll pull out the god knife.
And he looks at you with the pearl knife and he just sighs.
Hang on, we
Just-
lost Ayden.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Let Ayden reconnect there for a second.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Alright.
You good, boss?
It's not an Arcane Adventure stream until there are some technical difficulties somewhere.
That Skype logo's got to pop up once, so I have to edit it out later.
It's gotta happen. That's just how it be.
Is your camera back on?
Mark it.
Yeah.
Almost 3 hours, Jay.
Camera's back on.
So
Jay,
what happened?
Almost 3 hours
Okay.
in.
3 hours in. Got
So-
it. Thank you.
Ayden, what is the last thing you heard?
Literally, like Pyrrha was just about to start explaining what was happening.
Okay. So, Pyrrha says the kind of offerings she accepts, it's sort of meal offerings for her.
I'll pull out some rations.
And he just,
So does it have to be living? Is my question.
you have the children on you?
No, That's what. Does the things have to be human that are the offerings?
She prefers the taste of human.
I'm gonna take off my armor, and not my armor. I'm not wearing armor. I'm gonna take off my backpack. I'm gonna set it down and go. She can eat me. I'm half human.
I'll look over at Rosemary and be like, "We said we were going to overthrow the government, right?"
As you say this, Rosemary definitely had her mace out and like an arm out and was about to like do something. Just, oh right, that, yeah, and just puts the mace away and is like.
I mean, we could go steal a human real fast. It won't be hard.
So Pyrrha
Then
just
we'd
looks
have
at
to
you
look
guys.
past the snake again.
Pyrrha just looks at you guys like, so you are. I'm just saying it so you be aware of that. If she does, that is not his voice. So you all just be aware of that. If she does ask any sort of things like that, I'm sorry. I should have.
Hey,
Probably.
she can eat me. I don't need to live. Let's go.
No.
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure we could
no.
figure something out.
No, Cor. No.
Okay. So
How far away is the town from here? Just asking for a friend.
guys are a good like couple of like.
We would not get back in time. We would die
Yeah.
probably because it's been night this entire time.
Yeah, we would die. We wouldn't have.
So yeah, but when you guys got to the town, it was like sundown. So all right, so
I'll pick my
guys-
gear back up.
you guys are heading to the cave.
Yeah.
So as you go inside the cave, the immediate like smell hits you. It hits you especially hard, Dylan. It's disgusting. It's a mixture of rot, decay, and just like just decay in general. Decaying plants, decaying creatures, and you see like larvae crawling around. It's disgusting.
I say, I much prefer the smell of the damp town over this this
So,
cave.
and Mike, of course, having to draw everything.
Sorry, everything I see.
So you guys like reach like the back edge of the. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, so is it? It's dark in this cave, yeah.
There's torches that are lighting up with a green flame, so you can
Okay.
still see.
I'm just gonna cast prestidigitation real quick and just make the flames brighter.
Okay. Yes.
And just make them.
As you do so, in the back of the cave, you make one of the flames brighter, and you see the silhouette of a giant, like a humanoid alligator.
So a lizard folk, but an alligator.
Love it.
Maybe. So
Like that's kind of the vibe. Like that. I'm not asking if that's what it is. That's just like what we're seeing.
how about I just describe it?
Yeah,
Okay,
do that.
So with that, like the shadow stops, and you just hear the footsteps like dragging the dirt underneath, and from the other side of the cave. So like the cave is like in an L shaped. From the other side of the cave, there is this humanoid like female figure
Mhm.
with blonde hair, but is still a crocodile. And she's wearing ripped, like a dress that's like ripped. But yeah. And she just looks at you guys, and like her lizard like pupils just like turns into a line.
Excuse me.
Who are you?
We are we are adventurers, and we are looking for help. We seem to have been cursed, and we were told that to come here for help.
How'd you find me?
How'd you find us?
I just kind of gesture.
I asked first.
I asked second.
I just gestured toward Pierre.
Our little friend here helped us.
Ah, you little. Okay. Well. Dang it. Time to kill you all. Well, it was great to you guys.
Hold on. There's no need for battle or fighting. We are here in peace. We do not intend to make a mess of things. We're simply here just to find some information. Please.
Slowly, let's go, Great Axe.
Information about what?
About removing this curse from us.
Curse. Oh, yeah, I could smell it from a mile away. Yeah. You got the demon in bottle curse. That's...
Out of curiosity, what does it smell like to you?
Yeah, well, it smells like smoke and fire, and like it's just charcoal as well, and like rotten egg. It's not great.
About what I expected.
That is definitely much better.
Selros kind of to himself. Definitely a much better smell than this, but...
Listen, it's my house.
Sorry, I don't mean no offense. My nose is just very sensitive is all.
Can vouch, have been in him before. Its nose is not great.
I kind of look at you.
Poor choice of words, but get what you mean.
Sounds like a you problem.
I like her.
I don't like you. You'll hit my house.
Hey Lou, can you play a lizard folk and it's just this?
Oh Lord. Maybe.
I just want you to play an old grandmother and just have her be insane, and this is what she sounds like.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Hey guys, how you doing?
Have you ever seen
Well-
The Prudes? Because the old woman from that is what I'm picturing.
So
Perfect.
it's just a cat saying. I love this NPC voice so much. Okay. Well,
I can picture that cat's voice too.
I ain't gonna help you if Destiny bought me something.
I'll pull out the knife again.
She goes, oh, and she like approaches and like extends her like hand. And she like looks at him.
I'll go. Be careful. I'm told it can kill gods.
Just break it.
Yeah, trash, and she throws it back at you.
Okay. So theoretically, how hard would it be to fight this thing if I wanted to?
So
He's gonna look down, and he's gonna look back up, and you can see him visibly shaking, and he's gonna step to. How tall is she?
She is about 6 foot. She's
Perfect. I'm taller than her. I'm gonna walk up to her, and I'm gonna look down, and I'm going to say in the scarily calmest voice, "We have gone through hell to get here. We got cursed because some guy bumped into us. We were told you can help. We offer you gifts. Sorry we don't travel with edible children. However, I'm getting very annoyed, and I would advise that you assist us as we need be, and we will keep the people out of your forest so it's no longer getting burned. I've been bitten by a snake. I've been in an elephant's body. I have smelled myself and everyone else way too potently. I met a very beautiful mermaid who gave me a wonderful knife, which I then offered it up to you, and you broke it. I have had all of my deepest fears ripped out of my head and put in my lap. I am this close to losing it.
She just looks up. She just looks up with like.
And his hard hat just.
Go ahead.
And he's shaking so much, his hard hat just goes flop, and he just does the dramatic hair flip out of his face because it like fell down.
Yeah, go ahead, Ayden.
As this is happening, Rosemary's just gonna kind of quietly go over to the two halves of the knife and take it and put it in her bag so that she can fix it later.
Yes, we stand. Okay, so she just like looks up at you with like her like crocodile face, almost like touching your chin, and she just goes, eh.
So,
Listen, what you did to get here, it ain't my problem.
I'm gonna
You
look
came
at the
here to
elephant.
get my help.
I turn to
ahead,
the elephant. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike first.
you don't like humans, correct? Well, you like to eat humans, but you don't like them when they come into this forest and do bad things, correct?
I mean, when they come here, it's like free meal for me.
So what if I told you I have a book containing all the people that I've seen in the town, so that way when they come over, or if someone goes over there, they know how to identify them, and you can take them.
Ooh. Do you have children in that as well?
I'm going to turn and look at Mike, and Mike's character. I'm going to go, do not give her a list of edible children. And my great axe is in my hand at this point. Like, I'm just holding it, but like, you can tell this orc is tense.
Remember, Jay, if you do rage, you're gonna have to roll for a wild magic.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm half tempted to do it anyway.
If I give you this, will you take off the curse?
And she like is very tempted. Like she's like, and she like licks her lips. Fine.
I have a question, and he's gonna go back to being like eerily calm, and he's gonna go, the curse, is it a thing you can also put back on us, or once it's gone, are we good?
No, once you're gone, it's good.
Good to know.
Just like flips it away. Ooh, that one looks tasty.
Lift
Very
the
well.
curse.
Well, I have to pre-make a potion. I can't just do that. So
Understandable.
yeah, so come, and as she turns around, like she almost like hits you guys with like her crocodile tail, and she starts like heading back to just like come.
As she's following, she walks next to Akmar and pulls out the two halves of the knife, and she says, well, I'm sorry that she broke this, and also it can't actually kill gods. Just so you know. It was a... Anyway, but we can fix it later.
He'll just take it and just put it in his toolbox, in his tool belt, next to his hammer, and he'll just give it a little pat. And then he'll look at her and go, thank you.
Kira seems very uncomfortable by all of this, by the way. He's just like back there just...
While she's making the potion, I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna crouch down and I'm gonna whisper and I'm gonna go, so you said we couldn't kill anything. Does that include that?
She is...
Will you be upset if she dies?
Oh, And he like gets really close to you. It's like, no.
Good to know. And then I'm gonna get back up and I'll walk back into the cave.
How much headspace do we have in this cave?
It's a very tall cave.
Okay, because I was gonna offer.
I know it's a little scary, but would you like a ride on my shoulders?
To Pyrrha?
Yeah,
The
Pyrrha.
kid.
It just looks at him, it's like, yes.
Pyrrha wants upseas.
They're like, blah.
So I kind of lower myself so he can like climb up
He
on my
like
shoulders.
quickly, he climbs it like a squirrel climbs a tree. It's very
Love it.
uncomfortable for you because like the little like nails just...
And the backwards feet, the heels just kicking.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I got very tough skin. Okay, I'm a-okay.
But is the hog here too?
Yes.
Since the hog is left alone, Rosemary is going to walk next to the hog and pet him and feed him some of the rations.
So I'm just gonna kind of hold on to him as he's just kind of like sitting on top of my head, kind of holding on. I'm assuming he's probably like holding on to my ears.
Yes. He's just like in absolute awe. He's just like, ah. And his feet are sitting like uncomfortably on your shoulders because it's pointing towards your shoulders.
Just
Oh,
hook
God,
the feet
got
under
it.
his pit. He just hooks the feet under your pits.
Basically. So,
No, hold on. As I just kind of, and I continue in.
all right. So, you guys will go to like the back of the cave, and you see there's like chains and pieces of humans like laying around, chewed up bones, and you see it like it seems to be like a little nest full of rags that you can assume it's her bed. So she's just like mixing up, like adding stuff like she grabs like a bone and throws it in. She looks at you, I was like, hair.
Rosemary kind of like pulls back some of the and pulls out a little bit of her hair and hands it to her.
One of the
It's
One of the
surprisingly long.
one of the very scarce like little hairs that are on top of my head. I
The
just
kid just rips a hair out of your head.
Would you mind?
She goes like he like very carefully goes "Tuck," and looks like a single like hair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She just grabs it like very undelicately. She just doesn't care. She goes up to Mike's character's like hair.
Thought it was real for a
Me
second.
too. I was like, wait a minute.
Mike's just out here shaking his head
commitment.
on stream.
I can't. Do you want me to actually do it?
Do
No.
not.
No.
I know I know
if
RP
we
is
get-
their main thing, but
If we
going
get
that extra
1,000
level.
if we get 1,000 followers on Twitch, Mike will shave his head.
Okay.
I will get a pair of scissors and just go at it.
Oh my God.
So
No,
she,
I'll do it. I have clippers.
so she keeps like mixing up the hair, and you see like it's like
the-
bubbling in like a very it has a like liquidy mud consistency. So like the bubbles are like takes a while to form, and she keeps mixing and mixing, and she just looks at you. I was like, so, curse, huh? That's pretty nasty.
I mean, not the first curse I think some of us have been under. Kind of
What?
glances a little bit at Mike's character.
But
a
you
little
got
bit.
to call me out like this. Why you got to expose me like that?
I don't know, because you're cursed and she's trying to make conversation.
Yeah, this thing's a bit. Give me a second. Yeah, she keeps mixing up, and oh, Mike,
Yep. It's bound to happen.
suddenly, you just black out and you faint, and you're gonna be unconscious for 6 minutes.
Jeez.
What?
And she just looks at like you, and is like, ah, yikes.
I have a question. Would the potions is the wild magic part of the curse?
Yes,
Okay, so if I drink the potion, the wild magic goes away.
yes.
Good
Let
to
me
know.
know when I'm awake.
She just
I want to kind of crouch down and like my trunk is just gonna kind of like start pushing him and
keeping CPR with a trunk.
I'm just like just like moving his body like shoving it just kind of like
Zig, are you awake? Okay.
Rosemary's gonna like double check to make sure that Siegfried is in fact breathing and still alive.
He is stable. He's just unconscious.
He's okay. He's just unconscious. He'll be okay. Probably.
He keeps mixing. He keeps looking at you all. Like she keeps looking at you guys. Like, you guys are staring. Do you know like how I look?
I'm not into
Fine.
the child
Don't mean
eating.
to stare.
I have other forms. And like
Oh.
she snaps, and like a cloud of puff, blue smoke comes out.
I can't read his
Stop
face.
responding.
Oh.
The EXE has stopped responding.
So as she does that, she turns into a old man with like a potato sack for clothes, and he has like a huge leather like sack on him, and he's like only has one eye. It's like, is this better?
Grandpa?
And she's like, oh no, thank you. And she like snaps back, and she turns into like this really weird creature that has like huge eyes with like weird horns. It's just disgustingly weird. It's like, and she's just like, are you okay, child? And she snaps back for like her alligator form.
Oh my god.
Rosemary just looks at her and she says, oh, yeah, I just wanted to see how you would respond if I said those things.
And she looks at just like, she like snaps at Jay's character. It's like, hey, can you pick up that child's skull over there? I need it for the potion.
Sorry, who's scared?
No,
Jay.
He looks over at the child's skull. He looks back at her and he goes, why do you need a child's skull?
'Cause potion. And like you see at the child's skull, there's like teeth marks.
I want to insight check her to see if she's messing with me or if she actually needs it.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just curious because I was just in the middle of like responding to something, and
Yeah,
then
that's okay.
there's just silence, and I'm like, was that at me?
No, it was just Jay being in shock.
Insight, that's +1? Yes, okay. It's a 9.
You can't tell. Like, you're just blinded by like this anger, but not enough to be raging.
I'm gonna look back at the rest of the party with just a look of, I don't want to touch it. Just pain in his eyes.
Come on,
Rose-
get it! I need it!
Rosemary goes over, picks up the child's skull, and hands it to the old woman.
Thanks. And she crushes in her hand and like starts like sprinkling in the like cauldron. It's almost done. By this time, Mike, your character is awake.
Mike
Okay.
has entered the chat.
That was
Oh,
a
good.
journey to get back here. Get on, girl.
Oh, good.
Yeets,
You're awake.
banana.
I was worried that I was going to have to spare the dying.
Bugs
Yeah.
flew into my mouth. Bugs.
For a second, I thought that was like IRL, and I'm like, you okay? You good?
Alrighty. So she grabs like a couple like cracked skulls and she like pours it in like the potion. Yeah, alright. Bottoms up. And she hands it to you all.
I'm gonna take mine and I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna go, does this lose its property or can I drink it whenever?
You can, I suppose you can drink whenever, but you're not going to survive until the end of the night.
What time is it?
I would say at this point, it's getting close to like, when they say night, it's mean as long as the sun's not up. So at this
Okay.
point, it's
So
getting
it's
like,
daybreak.
yeah, it's getting close to like 3 a.m.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna put it in my pocket and say, later.
Celeros is going to down that.
All
yeah,
right.
Rosemary,
more- no
Rosemary's
more-
drinking it.
Yeah, no more tree branches falling on my head, giving me unnecessary damage. Thank you.
Siegfried would like to drink it, but leave just a little bit so he can cork it and bring it back to his lab.
Okay. So, Dylan and Ayden, you both are rid of the curse. Mike, because you didn't drink everything, I'll say you still have a little bit of the bad luck, but you still get your normal charisma checks.
I'm gonna walk up to the elephant and I'm gonna whisper, put the kid down.
Why?
Do it now.
Okay. Here, Pira. I'm just gonna let you down.
So I'm going to kind of lift him up and just kind of place him down.
And I'm just gonna give the kid just the look, like the look, cause like he knows what's about to go down. He knows.
Oh no.
Pira,
And
Pira looks at you and he like looks at her and he just like turns a bit pale, and he seems scared. He's not so sure for who, but he seems scared.
And then I would like to walk up right behind her.
And she like keeps staring at the fire, like, "What's up?"
I'd like to rage. I'd like to try to cut her head off.
So, rage, you still have your
Yes,
magic.
there's a reason I did not drink that potion.
Okay, so
And I
it's
got
gonna
as
be
close to her as possible.
it's gotta be percentage, Jay. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll a d10 and a d100.
Let me find a d10.
All right, time to get the wild magic sheet out.
Jeez.
Oh Lord.
Sorry about that. So there, you said a d100 and a d10?
Yes, for percentage to see if you.
39.
You pass.
Dang it. Okay. And then, yeah.
She wanted
Yeah, definitely. Are you kidding me? If I could cast Fireball on myself and hit her with that? Frick yeah.
Could I
You know what?
see
Just
that?
for this, Jay. Go ahead and roll another d10 and d100.
Okay. Also, do I get advantage because she wasn't ready for it when I rolled to actually hit her?
Yes, it's a
Okay,
surprise
cool.
attack.
So that was a 20. Well, I rolled a 0 on the 10, so would that just be 20, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right, let me get the list again.
Well, 0. Yeah, 0 on. Oh, God.
You cast Grease Center on yourself, so you know that advantage you had it. Never mind, you have a
God.
straight roll, Jay.
That's fine. That means she has disadvantage, though.
Yes, she does.
And
have
I'm
disadvantage.
gonna try to lop Grandma's head off.
So immediately, as you scream to try to surprise her and like pass. It seems like
I'm
as you
gonna
scream,
hang on.
this-
Go ahead and keep
weapons,
talking.
though.
I gotta grab my manual.
Right. This
Uh,
oily sheen seems to just melt from Jay's character into the floor, creating this puddle of this disgustingly green sheen. As the alligator woman thing has to catch herself. So yeah, Jay, here's the thing, right? Do you have advantage on attack rolls because you're raging?
No, but I was gonna go reckless to get advantage.
So advantage, so you would still have advantage,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna reckless, which means I have advantage.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually pull out one dice that normally doesn't fail me when it comes to strength things. Where is it? Give me just a second. I don't
Yeah,
have all of my
All the
dice
thing
out.
ends.
Pulling
Do
out
I
where?
see that he's doing this?
Do not try
Yeah,
and stop me,
you-
or I will kill you too.
No. Do
You
I
obviously
see that he's
see
trying to attack her?
Florida leader, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Jay, you know how that one works.
Hey, it works for strength stuff.
All right. Yes, Mike, you do see it.
Could I try to cast something?
What is it?
I'm going to take out my staff and spin it in my hand and point it towards her and quicken spell hold person.
Oh, so that's a wisdom.
Yes, let me check. I'm pretty sure it's wisdom.
She
Can
got a 7.
7, she's paralyzed. And then as an actual action, he's going to cast Cloud of Daggers right above her.
Can I also
Hang on, wait, Mike. That's gonna hit me. Also,
No,
No, it's
Cloud of
5
Daggers
foot, so it's
is-
only centered on
but
her.
I have to swing into her space to hit her.
You do, but you won't get hurt.
Okay, cool. Can I do my actual attack now?
can
Wait,
I
I want to see what Aiden's gonna say because he might help you, Jay.
I know.
let me just double check these two cantrips. This is
Jay just very anxiously clicking his dice.
that's ability checks and that's saving throws. And this isn't an attack, this is an attack, not an ability, right?
Yes, what Jay is attacking her.
Alright, in that case I'm gonna cast Bane on her.
Jesus. Give
What's
me
the
a
wizard gonna
second.
do?
Let me check what
She has
bait.
to make-
Holy.
She has to make a charisma saving throw. She has to make a charisma
Yeah.
saving throw.
What's
Like,
the wizard
and
gonna
fail.
do?
She got a 9.
That's a fail. So whenever she makes an attack or a saving throw before the spell ends, which is 1 minute, she has to roll a d4 and subtract that number from the attack or saving throw.
Cool.
Jay,
Can
go
I
ahead.
hit her now?
Yes.
All right,
please go
cool.
ahead.
With
You're dying
advantage.
enough.
Let's see.
Actually, I would like to.
Let me have my
Just
moment.
kidding.
That's tough. Oh, wait, never mind. I have advantage. Anyway, okay, yeah. So, does a let me see. I'm sure it does, but I want to say how big the number is. Does a 21 hit?
Yeah, that does it.
Cool. The first attack is 21 damage. I get 2 attacks because of what level I'm at. Or, no, that's 21 to hit. I'll roll damage after. The second one is a. That's probably not. I'm guessing 8, 9, 10 does not hit.
No, that's not gonna hit.
Okay, cool. Where's my D12? To hit my
I don't know if
first.
I cry or if I should laugh.
Makes
I'm
there's
just-
nothing else I can. Oh, I get +2 because I'm raging.
This entire time, I'm shielding Pyrrha
You're right.
from this. I'm just like this giant wall in front of him. Just kinda like,
Okay,
It's okay.
Jay.
I rolled a 1 on the damage die, so I did 3 damage with that +2. Wait, do I get +2 to rage? Hold on.
No, it's a +2. You're not level.
No,
you
it's
think
+3. It's +3.
Oh,
So
okay.
4 damage.
Because of the circumstances and Cloud of Daggers.
I actually can't do Cloud of Daggers because it's another concentration spell. So instead,
Hold on,
can I
she's
use
being.
Chaos Bolt?
oh my god.
Pause for a second. I have a question. Because
Yes.
she's being held, does that give me double advantage?
That would.
Hold on.
Let me roll.
She's also paralyzed. Yes.
Yes.
So that means any attack on her is a
Automatic crit.
crit.
Oh!
Oh, right.
How do you crits, if I can ask? And since I
So-
have triple damage, let me roll 1 more d20 for that that second attack, if you
So-
don't mind.
The way the crit stuff, I'm actually gonna do the way Dylan does crit stuff.
I
So,
still miss. It's fine.
so Jay, you can have a max damage
So
and another.
So-
roll.
Yeah. So with that first attack you did, you that was your roll. So whatever you rolled, and then add your
1
max to
plus
it.
2 plus 3. So that's a 1. I forgot to add my strength to it. So that's a 1 plus 2. That's a 3. 3 plus. No, plus 3. Sorry. So that's a 4 plus 3. That's 7. Plus
Plus
12 is
19.
19. So yeah, 19 to hit with just the
Okay.
great axe.
So, Mike, I would let you do the spell, but Jay, how do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm literally gonna look at you and I'm gonna say, he's gonna tell him to put the kid down as soon as he sees the kids out of sight, because he never put his axe away. He was holding it the whole time. He's gonna walk up. Grease is just gonna go whoosh, out
Right.
from him, and he's just gonna go 1 clean movement to the head.
Okay, yeah.
And
So-
then just for the heck of it, as the head spins off, he's gonna grab it and just throw it in the pot.
Okay. So, on her side, right? She's like just mixing and stuff like that, and suddenly just whoosh, she starts to slip. She suddenly freezes, and then her head falls off, and Jay catches it, throws in the pot. The pot starts to it starts to bubble even more. It starts to overflow with like this green and purple glue, and
Oh.
you see.
So half-orcs have a thing called savage attacks. So technically I could have done more damage because when you crit you get to roll 1 more time. Just for the heck of it. Let's add
Yeah,
freaking 8
go
more
ahead.
to that damage for the heck of it.
Clean cuts even more. So yeah, the pot starts to overflow, and you see flowing up from like all this mess that the pot's causing. There's the blonde wig.
It was a wig? That's natural weave.
So yeah,
As
And
as
then I'm
this
gonna
all
go-
happens,
I'm gonna turn
Um,
to Mike's character and I'm just gonna go, never offer children to someone again.
Oh no, it's fine because that book didn't have actual children from the down. I knew she wanted something, so I just wrote down people, random people. I don't know them.
All right.
As
Yeah, go ahead, Ayden.
So Rosemary's gonna go forward to the body. Number one, checking to make sure if this creature is dead, like actually dead, or if this is some sort of illusion.
Okay, so you see, so the minute like her head falls down and she like touches the grease, you see like her body like bubbles up too, and like kind of melts off, and you just see her, what's it called, skeleton. Like her skin will all just melt off. You can still roll. I think this would be. Do you want medicine or arcana?
Let me check which one I have either proficiency in or a better roll in. Medicine, I have a slightly higher one. I'm proficient in neither, but I have a +3 to medicine where I have a +2 to arcana.
All right, go ahead.
That's going to be a 19.
Yeah, she's dead.
Excellent. In that case, Rosemary is going to kneel next to her remains and shoot off a quick prayer to Kalembor. Just general stuff of like, Kalembor, this person has died. Please send her soul off to wherever it needs to go, etc., etc. And then she gets back up, kind of dusts herself off, and looks to the party and says, "I think that's
We're all in agreement.
Shall we go?"
We're all in agreement that was the move, correct?
I
She
mean,
was supposed to eat children. I might believe that death is a natural part of life. That's not a natural way to die, so I would agree that was the right move.
And then I'll pop the
Technically, if you think about it, everybody eats everything, right? So it is technically still part of the natural world, but I mean, eating small children is not something I approve of.
I mean, do you want to take her skin?
Could we make something out of it?
Gator scales are really good.
Oh wait, it's in the pot. Never mind. Her whole body wasn't. Was her whole body gator, or was she woman body gator head?
No. She was her whole body's gator. But like the problem is when you cut off her hand, she falls to the ground. Her body melted off.
Okay, cool. Just wondered. I'm just gonna.
Kira just like pops like around the corner from like the huge wall of a person Dylan's character is. It just goes like, yes.
So as soon I'm just gonna whoosh, with one hand pop the cork off the potion with the other one and just chug it.
Okay, it's still in the skull. Did you put her somewhere else?
Oh, I thought she had.
She handed us skulls for you guys to drink from.
I'll pull out. I don't know. I don't.
Okay. How about since we didn't realize that it was in like a container. It was
so sorry. I should have explained better.
Like prior to swinging it, he just hands it to Rosemary. And she's like, okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So
and she hands it back to him.
I'll look at it. Is it in a child's skull or is this like an adult?
It seems to be an adult skull.
I'll shiver and just go real quick.
All right, you chug it down and you are free from the curse, Jay.
And then I'll just be like, well, we're uncursed. Now I gotta figure out this whole town problem.
Her head's in the pot, correct?
Yeah, I dropped her head in the boiling pot.
The only thing that you see from remains to her is her artificial wig floating.
There's no skull, right?
I'll say this much: you can try to find it. You roll. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you look at the pot and you look how he dissolved everything but the wig. Maybe
the wig.
She had blonde hair. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, so I'm just gonna look at everyone else and go, so now we go tell the town to stay the frick out and we can leave, correct?
I thought we were overthrowing the government.
That's plan B.
Why can't it be plan A?
Because if we could do it peacefully, I'd like to.
Okay.
It just he kind of looks back at the goo on the floor and goes, yeah, if it's possible.
So, you guys are
and I'll end my rage, obviously.
All right, fantastic. So you start to walk back to the town, and Kira guides you all like through the forest as well. As you're getting close, like it's starting to daybreak. As you guys are getting close, you hear screamings in the distance, chantings, and you keep getting closer and start seeing pitchforks and torches.
I'm gonna run that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, following that.
Yeah.
Same here.
All right.
Full
So
gate. I'm gonna look at the kid and I'm gonna go, stay back, and
I
then I'm
will
gonna
s-
book it.
I
Okay.
will say Siegfried is doing a Naruto run and he looks stupid.
right. So
Rosemary looks to Pyrrha just before she starts running. She takes the flower out of her hair and hands it to Pyrrha and says, keep this safe for me and I'll come back for it later. Just stay safe, okay?
Pierre looks at you guys like, and he looks kind of scared towards like the pitchforks and stuff. He's like, okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Just hide in the forest. We'll come back. We'll come back later and check in on you.
If you see anything approaching, do not come out. Do not let them see you. Hide
Unless it's us.
Unless it's us. Hide
Here
everything.
in your
know-
heads.
When we get closer, there's one thing I'd like to do.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
You hear echoing in your head. You promised.
And I just
Working on it.
out loud, calm your tits,
Running back to the
snake,"
town.
and then I'm booking it.
All right.
As she's running, she just says out loud, pretty loudly, in response to the voice, "We're working on it." And
All right. You
go.
guys keep running. And you reach like the border of the forest with the town, and you see like the town is entirely just like ready to go at the forest and like burn it down.
The whole
Pulls off
town?
the mask
It
and
seems
just
like it.
Okay, cool.
pulls down the mask, runs forward, and says, "What is going on?"
And this human guy like
The human.
approaches you and just says, "You didn't do the job we paid you to do."
And I'm gonna step
What
right to him.
happened?
I'm gonna step to him. Sorry, actually, yeah, I kind of want to know what happens too, so I will step to him in a second.
We had to deal with this entire night. That man from the tavern. We're tired of him. We saw what he did.
What did he do exactly?
We saw him turn into the dolphin.
And that
Okay,
hurts you
and-
because?
Did he hurt anybody?
He's the one that has been cursing the children.
No.
What did he? I'm sorry, curse the children.
Okay, hold on.
That's
Everybody,
a new.
everybody,
This is a new
quiet
problem.
down for a second. Pause. I would like to first say I have had a very bad day, and if you all get in my way, I will start knocking your heads instead. Secondly, nobody told us. We were told just to make sure the forest didn't bother you all. We are currently still doing that. You can calm your tits. 3, get the pitchforks out of the way, or a giant snake could eat us all.
So Selros is going to very calmly walk to kind of the front of the party and explain.
No, you see, good man. He's not cursing them intentionally. You see, it just happens that his children, the children who are cursed, happen to be his, and it's a side effect, unfortunately, as he's not human, as you know, and mixing the genetics between the two don't quite mix very well. Now, like I said, he's not doing it intentionally, and we have every intention to keep peace here. If you decide you prefer other means,
And as he says that, I cast mirror image on myself, so there are now 3 giant elephants standing in front of them.
we will not hesitate to retaliate. We are doing the job you asked, as to keep the balance between the natural world and your world. And we are doing as such.
You never hired us to kill anyone. You hired
Precisely.
us to take care of the creatures in the forest, however we deemed fit. Well, what we deem fit is we're not going to kill anything in the forest. There's a natural balance and a natural order that needs to be kept in place, and you all are actually the ones who are disturbing it. So, if you would be so kind as to put the pitchforks and torches down so we may discuss this in a less hostile way, that would be lovely. And if you decide not to, we will not hesitate to retaliate against this entire town.
And
Do
we have
I
a giant
see
snake
the
on our
guy?
side. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, go ahead.
But do I see the guy they're talking about, the one who turns into a dolphin?
He already left.
Okay, so I don't see him. All right.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna kind of great axe in one hand. I need two to swing it, but I'm just gonna kind of look cool, like the anime thing. You know how they hold the sword like at their side? Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And like a breeze blows through, and I'm just gonna go.
I will say, Siegfried will like take off his hood, exposing his hair, and like say, "I hope you understand. We're not normal adventurers." And he takes off his mask and he shows his like scales, and the eye is starting to glow a little bit, and he breathes out frost, and he says, "We do not hold back."
You know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. He's something better.
So
And as that's happening, Rosemary kind of just has like necrotic energy like in one hand. She's basically readying Toll the Dead in one hand.
okay. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who has the highest intimidation here? So you can roll with
I'm
triple
proficient.
advantage.
Let me check. I think I'm proficient.
Go ahead and roll with triple advantage, Jay.
wait.
God.
I
So-
have +3, so it's
I have
actually
plus
not that
5.
Yeah, let Mike take it. Mike was
Like
Mike's
my
cooler
ticket,
anyway.
like my ticket.
And you said triple advantage?
Yeah, I mean, all of you guys have just been like, we'll kill you all.
Okay. So the highest is an
Okay.
18.
Okay, yeah. Some people seem to be taken back, but like you see, like the guy who came up to you guys is not, and you hear a rustle in the bushes, and suddenly like someone says there and throws a pitchfork.
I swear, if you kill another child, can I try to like dive in front of the pitchfork? Can I like yeet in front of the pitchfork?
I'm gonna say silly for that because you just hear.
Mike, do not laugh at this.
I thought it was something different was going on. I thought the whole forest army was coming out. I did not know at first, and then I realized what actually happened.
Well, as
Describe what happened, and then I'm gonna do a thing.
well, as as you hear the squealing of the hog, Pyrrha jumps out with like 2 spears ready to kill, and he just screams like
Elephant,
the
grab
guttural,
the kid now.
painful scream. And from that, he speaks Sylvan, which some of you understand. He's just like, "We're done with you all. We are done." And the giant snake appears behind him.
And I'm
So what are we going with
does
plan B?
the ghost
Plan
little
B is
girl, and the from the how to say this? Okay, from the river, like where you guys came out is like next to the docks. From the river, jump out this beautiful pink river dolphin, and like shapeshifts midair into the very handsome guy, and he has his fedora on his head, and you can see the nasal hole in his head as he puts his fedora back.
I'm just gonna immediately lean over to the elephant and go, "Keep them on their side. I'll keep them on their side. We are not going to start a war."
Yes.
And then I'm gonna look to see who grabbed who threw the pitchfork. Can I tell who it was?
Yeah, you see this guy absolutely paled. He just he still has like his hands.
Can I
open.
reach out and grab him by the shirt and just pick him up, or do I have to move to get to him?
You would have to move.
Cool.
oh,
I'm
wait,
just
no.
gonna start.
Instead, before you do that, before you move, I'm going to hold my hand out. My eyes are going to go black. And I'm going to cast Charm Person. I'm going to say, "Come."
What was that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Well, to throw a spear at a creature, that's not very wise. So, yeah, he got a 4. I assume that doesn't.
No.
Yep. Throw a spear at a.
Sorry.
So I just asked him, "Come."
Yeah, he takes a step back and suddenly starts very slowly and very zombie moving towards you.
As soon as he's in range, I'm gonna just yeet.
Okay, you pick him up. Okay, I thought you were gonna yeet him.
No,
you
no.
did with the
I'm gonna
snake.
pick him up.
Okay, you do so, and he's still kind of in the.
Can I how big is? Could I one-handed back of the shirt hold this guy, or is he bigger than that?
No, he's 5, 6.
So I could one-handed back of the shirt hold this guy then.
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna just one-handed back of the shirt hold this guy, and I'm gonna go, do I have your attention? And like I'm gonna shake him a little bit to make sure everybody the town is paying attention.
Yes, like everyone like takes a step back as you like reach them.
I'm going to look and I'm going to say, this forest has done nothing to you. None of you, if anything has happened to you from this forest, it is your own fault. Your men die going after its people. Your men die and get cursed trying to make deals with it. If you left it alone, nothing would happen. That man probably should not be impregnating people if he's going to curse them. That is fair. I will give you that one. Keep it in your pants.
He says curse.
Oh yeah, no, you
We'll talk
like whenever you
later.
impregnate a woman, the child will end up cursed. That's just
Ooh.
the thing.
Wait, hold on. Wait, pause. I'm still holding up. Go. What is the curse?
Do I look like I know?
Not
I didn't
you.
even know.
I'm yelling at the guy in front of me who's been talking the whole time.
So basically, the child, the guy like just looks. She's like, no child that has been born from him has survived much because of just bad
Because
things happening, bad health, bad.
how much work do you all do to keep him alive?
We try best.
Good. Well then, we'll deal with him. That is fair. However, this man attacked an innocent forest creature because he saw it move. However,
Pyrrha is still like crying, like his eyes are flame, his hair is flame.
I'm
He's
gonna
just-
look at Pierre. I'm going to go. One of yours has been hurting this town with his what he likes to do in his free time. For that reason, I'm not going to kill this man. I'm going to turn back to the group. However, you all are going to turn your asses back around and get the fuck back in your town before I bust this man's skull open. Do you understand me?
Could I quickly tap Rosemary and tap to where the squealing was?
Rosemary
Yeah.
just has like a sort of a twisted kind of smile as she's looking at the townspeople. She holds up her hands, just, we can take care of that in just a moment. And she steps forward and looks at the town and she says, humans have been a pain and a blight in this world for far too long. So I would advise all of you, if you want to stay alive, if you want to continue living, and if you don't want your souls to go off into the afterlife, where death is but a kindness, leave the forest alone, because, oh, there are far worse things in this world than death.
As you say that, the giant snake hisses towards everyone.
To add to that, can Siegfried stand behind her and not like actually cast it like I'm actually going for it, but can a giant fireball in the shape of a skull just go
Yeah.
above her?
Yeah.
And as all that, so Selros is gonna kind of walk. He's gonna be closer to Pyrrha, and his trunk is just gonna kind of rest, kind of around his shoulder. Just kind of, it's almost like an arm over the shoulder thing, but just using his trunk, just get him to kind of like try and keep his cool. And then if he tries to like book it or do anything, his trunk is gonna be able to like grab the back of his shirt just to hold
Okay.
him.
I'm
Right.
going to look at the town, still holding this dude. I'm going to go, you got 3 seconds to turn around now.
Like everyone. Everyone just like looks at each other, and like some people start dropping like the stuff, and they just like back away.
Good. Now, I'm still holding the guy. I'm going to turn to the fiery kid, and I'm going to go. Well, first I'm going to turn to Rosemary. I'm going to go, can you save the pig?
Now that the townspeople are backing away, she puts the mask back on, puts the hood back on. So she surprisingly looks less intimidating with the plague doctor mask on. And she goes over to the hog. What's the damage? How it is?
You see, he's like twitching in like pain. It has hit the lower part of his body. The spear is like still yanked on him. He's like on the floor twitching, like squealing, like.
I'm gonna quickly yank the spear out and then cast Healing Word at the second level.
All right.
So that is going to be, if I can find my other D4. That's going to be 7 hit points regained.
Yes, as you touch after you yank out the spear, you see like the wounds closing in.
So can we see this? Like, did she bring the pig? Like, do I know the pig's better?
Well, the pig was like under.
Okay. Well,
So
I just
I
want to
would
know if
say
like
you
the pig
didn't
got
see
up. I just want to know if the pig like got up and ran out or something.
Yes,
so the kid knows. Okay.
after like
Sorry.
after Rosemary healed him, the pig got up and started like heading towards Pyrrha.
So as that's going on, I'm gonna walk over to the guy that I forget your name. Jesus Christ.
I forget my name too.
That Akmar is holding. I was about to say Oscar. That Akmar is holding, and is just gonna walk in front and say, "So now what to do with you?"
I'm gonna kind of still holding. I'm gonna turn to the kid and I'm gonna go. Your pig is safe. Do we let this one go?
He taps Pyrrha. He taps Hitoko, and just
No.
his hair started like to go fire again.
I think.
And he looks at the town, and for a second, you hear like the singing voice of Yara, and he just takes a deep breath. Hopefully, he learned his lesson.
Oh, I'll make sure of that. And I'd like to skull bash the dude and then throw him back into the crowd of people. Mike, you can do your thing first.
Before you do that, I think there's still a lesson that needs to be learned.
I would agree.
And I would like to cast. Hold on, I need to search something real quick. If this is available to me, if I have this. Yeah, Burning Hands.
You have burning hands. I do too.
I'm gonna walk over to him and be like,
non-lethal burning hands.
No, non-lethal. I'm not trying to kill this dude. However, I'm gonna say, you did something very bad. You're not going to die, but you're going to live with the mistake that you made. It is going to brand him on his cheek.
And then I will skull bash him and throw him into the crowd.
All right, Dylan, did you also want to do Burning Hands?
No, but I mean, for flavor-wise, I guess it'll use a slot because I mean I think we're just about done, so it doesn't really matter. But Zelros is going to hold out his hand, and this little orb is going to appear with a bunch of different elements just kind of swirling around in it. It goes from like lightning to ice to fire to this like poisonous gas.
And if we hear anything else of you continuing this, or anybody else, we will return. You can count on that.
And
I just kind of make the orb vanish.
Okay.
in one
Aiden,
go ahead,
do you
Aiden.
also want to do something before I? Yeah, I'll let Aiden do something before I skull bash him.
no, this is after like the dude has been skull bashed and
Okay, then never mind. Then just 1 second. Yeah.
All right.
Jay, skull bash. Hopefully not Ethan.
Yeah. I'm just going bam to his forehead. Maybe break his nose. I don't know.
You do break his nose. So he screams as Mike brands him in the cheek. You see like the scar and like just a little bit of the melted skin. And yeah, Jay, you bash his like head. His nose like comes out crooked and like he's bleeding profusely.
And I'll just throw him as far into the crowd as I can. Just back a shirt, back a pants.
Yeet.
As he's being thrown, I'll say, "Tell them the Guardians are watching." And then he'll walk back into the forest.
And Rosemary is going to cast Word of Radiance, not choosing a specific target to do damage, but to utter the divine word and to sort of imbue her presence with divine energy as she says, "Heed our warning. Just as easily as I can heal any single one of you, I can just as easily take that life away. And it's all part of the natural balance of things. So don't forget this anytime soon."
Okay. And then, Lou, do you need to say anything before I turn and start talking to the forest?
No.
Okay, cool. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to look at the forest, like the snake and everybody staring
Yes.
at me. I'm hoping somebody's watching the town in case they move on me. And I'm just going to go, as for you lot, while we will protect your forest, we still must protect you from them. Step out of line, you have to deal with us too. Is that clear?
Pyrrha just like very, oh my god, words. Violently nods. The little girl just like quietly like nods. The snake like in her almighty presence, she just goes, that sounds quite fair.
And I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna look at her, and I'm going to dead glaring at this snake at this point because he has no craps left to give. He's gonna go, and you don't run this place. And if I hear you mess with any of the other forest folk, I will cut your head off myself.
Okay.
She hisses at you. She's like, I'd love to see you try.
I'll
Oh,
step
like
to
she's-
her.
She
there's no need
slithers
to
as you
worry about
as
that.
she finished saying that. She like slithers away. Like you hear the whole movement of the forest, and she just slithers away and like hides into the shadows.
She just calls out into the forest. Why don't you go check on Cocoa?
See, you'll hear the voice. You hear the voice echoing in your head. It's like, I am thankful that you have rid the forest of her.
And then, okay, I'm going to look to see, like, the forest has backed off, the town has backed off, correct? Mike, do you want to do something? You have your hand up, go ahead.
What was the name of the guy? The guy who made us switch bodies?
Sassy, he's there, by the way. I forgot to mention. He's there too.
I'm gonna walk up to Sassy and say, what is your magical capability, if I might ask, please?
I'm a trickster. Okay,
Are you able to... Sorry.
Yeah, I just mess with people. It's fun.
Are you able to bend earth?
Bend earth.
Yes.
Well, no.
Do you know anyone who can?
Ugh. Well, if anyone could do anything with earth, probably Boitata, the freaking cute snake.
Great. And I'm gonna...
She's gone.
I'm gonna try to find her. I'm gonna walk through the woods.
Okay, before he does that, does anyone want to do anything else, like, while everyone's there? And
Yeah, Rosemary's gonna... Is Yara here, or...?
Yara is not there.
Okay. Rosemary's gonna go to Pyrrha and the little girl, kind of kneel down in front of them, sit on her knees, and says, Are you both okay?
The little girl, like, her voice echoes in your head, she's like, yes, I feel like we will finally be safe thanks to you all. And Pyrrha, like, you can still see, like, a bit of flame, like, in his hair and eyes. He's just like, I still don't trust them, but...
You probably shouldn't. Humans are humans. They will do what they will, but...
Yes, but it does make me feel safer to know that you all could help us.
And I would like to find... first, I'll look at the town and I'll say, you all... We will not... And I'll look to him and I'll say, the people do need food, to the kid. They eat meat. Can they still hunt?
They have farms.
Do they? Oh, well, never mind that.
That's not my... Yeah, the farms is not my forest. I don't
Cool.
care about...
Then I'll turn back around and I'll say, hunters will stay out or they will die. We will keep, and I'll point to the pink guy. At least he will keep it in his pants. And I'll look at him, and I'll just give him the biggest death glare.
It's like,
And I'll just kind of set, like, that. Like, I'm still anime style holding the axe, and I'm just going to kind of lift it onto my shoulder, and I'm just going to continue to death glare him.
Call
okay,
Rosemary.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Rosemary
You
kinda just
stay out
calls
of
out
your...
from-
Sorry, go ahead.
Rosemary just calls from the corner. At least use protection.
That's valid. Yeah.
And then I'll turn and I'll say, they will stay in their forest. You will stay in your town. That is how this goes from now on. I am staying here to make sure that happens. If you have quarrels with me, and I'm still holding the great axe, and I'll just kind of move it slightly, I'll say, feel free to talk to me.
And you hear from like the back of the group, the cleric just goes, yeah!
Go cleric, dude!
Yes.
And then I'll point to the cleric and I'll go, that one is allowed in my forest.
You, my man. Why? Screw everyone else in this house. I respect you.
All right. So, Mike, you wanted to find. Does anyone else want to do anything?
Nope, that's it. As
All
long
right.
as the humans are
Very much.
leaving.
Yeah.
Mike, Kira guides you back towards Boitata, which is the snake. And you find her like resting, like her huge like head just resting.
I am told
Oh.
you can move Earth. Am I correct?
Her gigantic bright eyes like open and like they both focus on you. And again, the voice echoes in your head. Why would you like to know?
I want to ensure that these people in this town never harms this forest. Can you make walls? Can we build a wall from the forest to the town, cutting off getting in or out for both of you?
That is not something I can do. I can make rivers. I can make ridges, but I can't build walls.
But you can make it so you can make rivers and trenches, is that correct?
Yes.
How big?
And she breaks all the trees around you, and you see she's absolute humongous, and you see like she's very big, and she just like lifts up, just like this big, like talking about like her
size.
You have the
Okay.
idea the way that she does stuff, she like basically like carves through the ground with herself.
What a power move, though. Just
Right.
how big can you make it? Breaks all the trees to reveal how big she is.
If we can separate the town from the forest, even if it's with trenches, we can get it so that people can get in. And I can even bring people from different continents to curse it so no one can get in or out for both of you.
Well, do we want them perma-trapped? I feel like there's a way we could make... I'm not there.
I wouldn't like to be cursed. There's some of my friends that would like to use the river.
Okay.
I can make the river, and I shall, for you all have indeed helped us.
And Siegfried will nod and then put back his mask and then walk.
She
Back.
slithers, and for everyone who's still in the town, you see just like tremors around the town, and you know this huge snake carving into the ground as like a border for the forest. So how do I say this? Wise, it's a good like. I'll say, I don't know feet that much, but I'll say like 35 feet.
Okay.
And it just carves through and following like her, like you can't really see her where her body ends, but like you see like the river is already covering where she goes through, and the river ends as like in the same river where you guys came from, and as some of you guys are still like there in the town, right?
Yeah, I feel like he'd be standing as close to the edge as he could as it started happening.
Swimming up the river, you see Yara coming to see what you all have done to help them.
Rosemary, she was like sitting
You
in
look
front
like
of
you've been
the.
trying to do something for the past 20 minutes,
Yes,
bud.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go on.
No, all
You,
good.
you go first.
Real quick. So you said all the humans have kind of left at this point. Yes.
They are in their town. They don't seem to be. They're going to be bothering the forest
Okay.
anymore.
So I will look at my party and say,
Well, I have some quick business to attend with the town leader. If you don't mind, I will be back in momentarily.
and I'll kind of
No.
make my way like with my staff, just kind of as a cane, just kind of walking toward to try to find the I guess like the village headman or the
Alright.
town leader.
So you do so. There's like a house that's like obviously like way bigger and richer than everyone else, but there is a note in the front door saying "Have gone for vacation."
God damn it.
So you like I think they mentioned it. Like I think Botu,
This man
Sounds
said
kinda
nothing. He just
familiar.
out and dipped.
yeah, he was like he said like, oh, the town's leader like stays there somewhere else for the New Year's.
Oh.
I
This
vaguely
is
remember that. Yeah.
this is Michael to Dylan.
Mm.
Become the next leader. Take it over.
The elephant just.
Are we
takes
actually
over, and we
overthrowing
just-
the government?
Okay,
Take it
okay,
over.
poor Lou, your voice. Are
Take
you
it over.
okay?
You'd be
I feel
the
like you're ready
best
to end
leader.
this and you just keep going.
You'd be the
'Cause, like,
best leader.
It sounds almost like the end of this one shot is this party doesn't go back to the adventuring guild. We stay here.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. Selvaros is at that age where the whole reason he enjoyed the Adventurers Guild to begin with was so that he could share and help like beginning adventurers with experience, and he would aid them on their quests
Aw.
as like backup and like to give them advice and stuff like that, because he served as his village's shaman for a couple centuries and was ready to explore and help others. So I mean, I wouldn't be too far out of the question.
And you
But-
can make Adventurers Guild and then teach the young adventurers.
Make an adventurers
I'm just
guild
saying.
in
Are you actually gonna take
Silent
over? Cause
Boat.
like I'm down for that.
I mean, I'm lawful good, so like
Exactly, you're lawful.
Teach the town.
Start
You know what?
around.
you know what?
Start a
right,
riot.
I'm gonna become the new. I want to become the
All
new
right.
village
Uh,
head.
I think from the intimidation you guys gave, no one raises question. So yeah. Back to you, Ayden. Yara comes back. She greets you all. She thanks you all. And yeah, go ahead.
So, I like to imagine that, because Rosemary was like talking to the kids, right? Before Pyrrha went to lead Siegfried to the stake, right?
Yeah.
And then the river just appears.
Yes.
I like to think that she's like on the other side of the river, near the like at the edge of the forest, when Yara approaches. And so she looks to her and takes off the mask entirely, hood down, all of that. And she says, I'm glad we were able to help, and I gave Pyrrha the flower that you gave me so that he could keep it safe when we came back to town, because I was worried something was going to happen to it. And she takes out, sorry, ignore the background noise. She says, as she takes out the bone flute, and she hands it to her, and she says, until I get that back, do you want to borrow this?
And she just like looks at it and she starts to play.
Mhm.
And it almost seems like it came naturally to her. Like the music very softly flows out and it's a beautiful tune. And she like holds it close. She's like, thank you. I will keep this safe.
I don't know if I ever introduced myself. I'm Rosemary.
I'm Yada.
Rosemary.
So I'm standing, like, I was just standing there as this river
Yeah.
just came in with my axe. And I just kind of look down and I look up and I go, and I'll see her come swimming in and I'll get kind of like, oh, cool. And I'll turn and I'll see that Rosemary is talking to her. I'll see like the exchange of the flute, and I'll just sheathe my axe and I'll turn back and I'll oversee the town, and then I'm just going to walk back into the woods.
All right, so I think this is a good place to end tonight's session.
What a
Thank you all.
bro.
On
Thank
this
you all
episode
so
of We
much.
Derail Luana.
On this episode, we derail Luana.
Oh Lord. So
I mean,
It was so much
however,
fun.
it wasn't until the very end that things were derailed, so
Yes,
we're
yes.
good.
That's true.
I like how there
honest-
was no combat. All combat got snuffed out.
I'm so
real
glad. Okay, so real quick, I just want to say, all the story that was like all the characters, all the NPCs were based off the Brazilian folklore. So I hope everyone enjoyed that because it's honestly like I love sharing the stories of like my culture because they're so cool. So yeah, these are like one of the most famous ones. Yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
It was
Are you
so much
back?
fun, and honestly, like just all of
Mhm.
these characters, this whole world that you built, it was so beautiful, and the way that you told the story was just incredible. And this was so much fun,
Yes.
and it was such a joy to experience just a piece of the culture that you grew up with. And I had such a fun time, and I know everyone here had a really fun time.
Yes, I think also too, Lou, that character voice for what was it? The Kuko?
Kuka.
Kuka? Like literally top 3 voices of all time. Like
I would like to say, we were sitting here, and I like this whole time I've been like, I normally if I would hit stuff, but I'm trying to keep combat down. And then she started talking about the children and stuff, and I went, no, my character would yeet this woman. And so I DM'd Lou, and I went, get ready for combat.
Here's the thing. There's
Just
a
to
lot
warn
of
her.
okay, I had to like homebrew all of these characters and I didn't finish. So there's a lot of them that I did not have stats on. That's why I'm so glad y'all skipped the combat. Kuka was one of them I did not have stats on. So I'm so glad y'all just went, whole person, do this, this, and this. So you would just like instant kill her. Thank you.
I will say that like I was so ready at that last bit to like I had 2 more 3rd levels. I was gonna empower spell fireballs. So
Yeah,
I was just ready.
I was this close to using a racial trait where I could just cast darkness. I was so
Yes.
close
So-
to it, but yeah.
I'm just gonna say like the ones. The little boy with the backward feet, his name is Kurupira. He's the protector of the forest. He's also kind of a trickster. He likes to trick hunters. Sassi, his full name is Sassi Perere. He is also a trickster, but he's more of like a trickster. He doesn't do anything else good, but you can't trap him in a bottle if you take off his red hat. The snake, she is there. I had a whole monologue, but y'all never asked the right question. So she is very cool.
Oops.
Look up to her. Her name is Boitata. I probably will make a TikTok like explaining all of those later.
That would be amazing.
Yara is a mermaid. She like, she doesn't want to bring people to her death. People just try to like swim to her and they drown. Victoria is like an indigenous story of how the lily pads came to be. It's a little indigenous girl who fell in love with the god of the moon, and she looked at the reflection in the river and she tried to reach for him and she died drowning. So the god of the moon was like, I gotta save her. So he asked all the gods and they brought her back into a flower form. So like every night she would still look up to him. Who else? Oh yeah, Kuka is she's an interesting figure. She is this witch that likes to snatch children and eat them.
And now she is dead.
Yeah, now
I
she's
was
very
hoping
much
there'd
dead.
be like a deeper meaning.
All
She
right.
can shapeshift as well, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. So on that note, we'd like to thank everybody who's here. Huge round of applause for our DM. Make sure you check everyone out at TheWitchBard, at Tokengaymer, at Marsbitters, at MS, a bunch of numbers I can't spell. Say, I am Sirjayofharps. We are the Arcane Adventures, and we hope to see you next time.
also
Goodbye.
thank you at Chris Fire.
Oh yeah, and
Thank
shout
you
out
so
to
much,
Chris
Chris.
Fire for running the stream.
Thank
You all
for
are
joining us
fantastic.
tonight.
We love you, and good night.